Welcome to Smart 24 TV. The Smart Rise Show is here with your usual presenters, Ronald Tushkamwea and
Jacqueline Arenda. Well, I hope you have a very good morning. I don't know if you're at work or you're watching us from the sitting room and you're getting ready for work. But this is the Smart Rise on Smart 24, and we are glad that you're watching.
Yes, indeed. Now, remember, you can be part of the entire show throughout. We are on social media, on Twitter at S24TV, and we are streaming live on Facebook. The page is Smart24TV, but you can also follow us individually. It doesn't hurt anyone, you know. I'm Ronald Tushkamo on Facebook, at Ronald Tush on Twitter.
And Jacqueline Arenda on Facebook, and Jackie Arenda on Twitter. Well, let's get to the point and look at what was happening last night while you were asleep. Well, we see that at least Tanzania has shifted the ban on sugar imports from Uganda. Well, we know that last June, that's when Tanzania put a ban on the sugar import in Tanzania. But later, the demand was very high because we understand that the population of more than 50 million, the country's annual sugar consumption is estimated at 590,000 tons, of which 135,000 tons for industrial consumption. And industrial consumption means that such industries, the cakes, the beverage, so many rely on sugar. So if they are not getting sugar, it means at the end of the day, more and more industries are affected in Tanzania. So that's why we see they had to shift the ban, and Uganda, of course, we are back in business.
Yes, indeed. And remember, that's a review. We are making our reviews from different sites, and that's the East African.
Yeah, the East African.
Indeed. Now, the same headline is repeated on the Daily Monitor website. Remember, we are reviewing stories from 2-3 days, perhaps even 1 day ago. So now this headline is Tanzania issues permits granting sugar imports from Uganda. You've got the details from Jackie, but they are similar. Here they are saying that Tanzania, which had earlier blocked sugar imports from Uganda, is seeking to close a supply gap of more than 290,000 tons. Now, Jackie, I find this quite amazing because I think it was last week when I continuously mentioned the issue of the East African community being too proud to unite. And I particularly kept pointing on to Tanzania, which has occasionally banned products from Uganda, Kenya, from getting into their country. Yes. Now, the usual excuses come in, you know, we want to provide opportunities for our manufacturers in our own country. We want to limit the importation of fake products. We want to, limit the black marketing of some of these products. And these are the excuses that were coming in from Tanzania.
And yet they want us to have the same passport.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So it's quite good news.
Yeah, now that we're back in business. But however, Tanzania had charged 25%. That is percent import duty on sugar. Yes. And contrary to the East African Common Market Protocol,
yes,
they had said. Why would you charge us 25%? Yet it is. Uganda is a landlocked country. If there is any country in East Africa to be favored in the East African community, it should be Uganda. So if you tax Uganda, then what should we do to Tanzania when they are bringing something here? What should we do to our electricity that we supply these countries? So anyway, the good news is they had to move the ban off. So we are back in business. Yes. Let's have a smile for that.
Yes, indeed. Now, in other stories, moving on with our updates, we are now in the Daily Monitor site, and of course the headline is Uganda to register high GDP growth amid oil delays. The story on Monday 7th, and of course they're saying that Justice and Economic Forecast by Standard Chartered Bank indicates that Uganda's economy is bound to grow at a higher rate, propelled by government investment in infrastructure. Now, this is, I could say, a good projection, but it was the same projection made last year. Now, much as they keep talking about, these policy analysts and researchers keep talking about Uganda's economy growing, there is a very big question of, is the growth real? Does it trickle down to the layman in Uganda? Does it trickle down to the farmer? Uganda is predominantly agrarian. You know, we have over 80% of the population feeds off directly or indirectly off agriculture. When you talk about economic growth, we had a bumper harvest in the past year. There was a time when we had too much to a point that maize went as low as 200 shillings. Farmers lost a lot because they had too much, little market to sell to. Now, in this case, much as they talk about economic growth, what are the indicators of economic growth? In terms of infrastructure, it's okay. But is it real?
The industries that process our food.
Yes.
Because there was also a story in, I think that was in Bushenyi, that is early November, where we had farmers who were complaining that they were asked and tasked to concentrate on growing tea leaves, that they had a market. That's what people had promised them. The government had promised them that they will give them a market. On top of that, they will also put, probably, they will put up an industry specifically for tea leaves, as you know, Western Uganda. But on after the farmers getting into it and buying the whole idea, investing their money, probably getting some loans, we see these farmers coming up and complaining that they have no market. They had done everything and they had no market. And guess what? They keep on telling them, no, look here, it's because probably the quality. But they have not even gone there to see if the quality that they demand is there. And when you were telling them to enter into this market, did you sensitize them? Did you give them all the ideas that could lead them to having quality? But at the end of it all, I think we need to concentrate on our industrial areas so that we earn from agriculture, since 80% benefits from it.
Yes, indeed. So as they talk about economic growth, I feel we would have to dig into whether the actual Ugandan feels this economic growth. Moving on, we have another interesting headline here in the Daily Monitor, and they are saying cooperatives seek 162 billion compensation in lost assets. So the story is still Monday, January 7th, which is today.
Which country is that? Uganda?
Yes.
Jesus.
Yes, indeed. And of course, in summary, they are saying beyond compensation, government is seeking for ways through which it can remove cooperative unions. Now, about 1,110 cooperative unions are seeking to recover the 162 billion, which was lost in properties and assets. And this was according to the 9th Trade Sector Annual Performance Report. And of course, this report was presented by the Minister of Trade, Honorable Amelia Chambade, and she indicated that the government was committed to settle the claims made by the cooperatives for compensation of the assets and property which were lost during wars, political insurgencies. Now, it must be noted that prior to the 1986 political stability that Uganda so greatly has enjoyed.
I'm glad you know, yeah.
Well, omuzukulu otandise.
Yes, political stability.
Omuzukulu otandise.
Yes. Political stability favors every industry.
When you mention 86, the wazukulus start waking up. Okay, prior to the 86 political stability that Uganda has so much praised itself over, we had a lot we had so many cooperative unions, which obviously were playing an industrial action against most of the foreign-owned, dominated farms. And these cooperatives would at times get into money lending, they would get into purchase, they would go as far as constructing properties, purchasing assets, and of course the whole idea was, can we be able to provide different services for our own members that perhaps the government ought to do? Can we provide market, can we provide incentives among each other, and so on and so forth. So, of course, along the way, every time there was an instability, most of these assets would be taken off. At times even with change of government, some of these cooperative unions were scrapped off. So over the past 2 years, it has all accumulated to about 162 billion. And
that's a lot of money.
Yes, indeed. And of course, this is the kind of compensation they are seeking.
I hope they get it.
I do hope they do.
Well, before I bring up this story from the East African, let's get back to, there is a headline that was running last year in one of the newspapers saying Uganda will be manufacturing cars by the end of 2018.
Yes.
So this is 20. We didn't manufacture a car, unless I'm not informed, but I am, and I've not seen anything. But now Kenya manufacturers fault South Africa bus imports. As we see, Kenyan manufacturers have faulted the Transport Ministry's plan to import the first batch of high-capacity buses to South Africa, from South Africa, arguing that the move goes against President Uhuru Kenyatta's industrialization agenda by 2022.
Yes, and speaking of cars, I have a similar headline here, but of course it answers your question of whether we are manufacturing cars as per the promise that was made to us. Now, this headline is from the Daily Monitor site, and they are saying Uganda to test locally made vehicles before the end of 2019, and this was mentioned by Minister Tumwesige. Now, it must be noted that at some point we have seen the government of Uganda coming to support Makerere University students, especially right from the time they were working on the Kira EV project. This was the first hybrid car in Uganda, perhaps even on the continent, and with an intention of having it operate on hydro energy, so to say. Now, in summary here, they are saying the minister further noted that they will start with buses before embarking on pickups, double cabin vehicles. And they're saying the principal science officer in charge of advancement and outreach at the ministry, Dr. Nicholas Karija.
I'm waiting.
I'm cautious not to poorly pronounce people's names if I can avoid it. Said that the ministry started countrywide campaigns sensitizing Ugandans on science and their contribution towards the development of the country through science, technology, and innovations. This is it's not clear.
So basically, we should hope for the best in 2019. I hope we will have a car. But looking at, I know, yes, we will have a car. Those ones that are thinking that, you know, some things you think, like other people were saying, I have to get married 2018, but are you married yet? No. I have to build a house 2018. The same thing applies to the government. Sometimes they promise and things don't go their way. Well, we see these buses will help on reducing the traffic jam in the city, because the transport secretary says at least it will help to decongest major city roads after local assemblers and bodybuilders fail to meet the required specifications. As you can see now, that African countries we are developing, by the time we have traffic jam or something, decongested cities, it means we are developing. That's what I think. We are developing. If we are not developing, then that means that we shouldn't have decongested cities. So you can see, even in Uganda here, the president was saying all this that they are doing about the roads is to reduce the jam in the city. The same applies to Nairobi, the same applies to other cities. So we hope for the best. But that is the one in East African. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So as I was saying, these the Ugandan vehicles that are being manufactured, the manufacturing process already started. Let me first make that clear. It already started. We did see Uganda, the Uganda Investment Authority commissioning vehicles, two companies that were in charge of producing some of these vehicles, including, that was in 2014, they commissioned the Kira Motors Corporation, which was owned by Makerere University College of Engineering, Design and Art Technology. And then they also commissioned the China Engineering Limited. And of course, this was supposed to start car production in the country by 2018, but it is passed. But it passed before Ugandans could see a locally made vehicle on the road. So we've had some of these vehicles being displayed in different papers and tabloids in the past year, but obviously we've not had someone come on the road driving one. And we do hope. Probably they are testing it. They are testing it. You know of this gentleman in Western Uganda who has been trying to fly the plane. He flies it, but landing it is a problem. So probably we are getting somewhere. If he can work on that, then I think the car is also coming. Let's be positive and hope for the best, because as much as we know that economy is such a hard thing to maintain and it's such a hard thing to develop. Yes. Yes. Now, we are going to go for a very short break. We'll be right back with more updates after that.
But remember, you are still part of the Smart Rise show here on Smart 24 TV. We are in for our smart updates, but you can be part of the entire conversation on our social media networks. We are on Twitter at S24 TV. I'm at Ronald Tush, and we are streaming live on Facebook, and that is Smart 24 TV, Ronald Tush Kamoy on Facebook.
And Jacqueline Arinda on Facebook and Jackie Arinda on Twitter. Well, in other news, we can see Trump has promised to bring jobs back. Well, Trump has been promising a lot of things to America, and one of the things is giving jobs to the Americans. He says that most of the Americans, I think that's what everyone works on once they become a president, is to provide their citizens something to do, jobs. So we see, he says it's killing us, but we have, this is not Trump saying this. This is the chairman of the company, which one of the companies that Trump is focused on. He says it's killing us. He says he now expects the present tariffs will chop his 2019 profits in half. I just feel so betrayed if we fail, because the company is being harmed by the government. That just makes me sick. That's because Trump, his tariffs threatened to send them away, send them other people, other companies that have been in favor of Americans. How do you see that?
Well,
so should we put other people's, it's like saying we are going to send away all Kenyan companies so that Ugandans can take them over.
No, but that's what has been directly, or rather indirectly, happening in some of these economies. Of course, the news, the media may not have gone there to find out the details. Now, in Tanzania alone, at some point last year, we did see some Ugandan traders being forced back this side. And of course, in the corridors of Grapevine, it was said that the expulsions were made so that the locals can actually have a feel of their own jobs. Now, we did see this happen in the 70s with our famous president, Amin, who made Uganda popular for all the wrong reasons, so to say. But Amin expelled the Asians from Uganda in 1970, in the 1970s, and of course, it is said that at the time, he accused them of various economic indisciplines, including failing to pay taxes, hiding business secrets from Ugandans, black marketing, hoarding of products, and so many others. So he expelled them, appointed his own henchmen to take over the farms, and we did see business collapse, because before that, Uganda was projected to take on the world economy in the next the African economy in the next 10 years prior to that, because the economy was growing steadily.
But we see Indians are back. They are back in business and they are taking over. Well, for Trump's case, he's also insisting, and we can see plants in every direction shut down and moved their operations to Mexico, succumbing to the relentless pressure to cut costs in an age of globalization. When it comes to Mexico, I think Mexico is finding it hard to survive. Any Mexican is finding it hard to survive in America, because as you can see, everything rotates around Mexico.
If someone wants more details, which site should they go to?
That is the New York Times.
Yes, indeed. Now, from The Guardian, we have an interesting headline here. Fears grow in Africa that the flood of funds from China will start to ebb. I don't know what, I'm yet to find out what that means. Okay, so here they are saying in details that slowing growth and rising debt at home may affect Beijing's ability to keep up its vast investments in the developing world. And of course, these are concerns over the growing Chinese loans in Africa have been raised over the past few years, especially last year. We did see Kenya accumulate close to $30 billion US, over $30 billion US in loans from China. Now here they are saying concerns over Chinese growth could spell problems for Africa and other parts of the developing world. Beijing funded an overseas investment boom in the past few decades as it strove to become the world's largest economic superpower, while also buying vast amounts of natural resources produced by these emerging nations. So
Well, I see Trump saying that he sees China's economic weakness as U.S. strength. That's the same thing. So while Beijing and China, they are trying their level best to scramble here and there when it comes to their economic growth, well, USA is seeing vice versa.
Okay, interesting analysis. Well, so do come to the Guardian and get more details on that story. Now, moving on to other stories in the Guardian. Here they are saying that, still in the Guardian, as China feels U.S. tariffs bite, a chill spreads around the world. Let's go for a short break. We'll be right back. 24 TV. It is still the Smart Rise Show. And of course, we are going in for our sports biz right before the Smart Talk with Frank GASHUMBA. Right now, we have Shakira Biharimana with the sports updates.
Toshi, good morning.
Good morning, Shaki. What's with the black?
I think it's a black man, but
Jackie black, Gwe black, Obane GASHUMBA yamba de black. Hey, wa yellow. Hey.
Gamba bya yellow go byogedde. Nenga tulina bingi leero. By the way, waliwo omusambi bamanyi by'omupiira. Waliwo omusambi Makwanoni who was arrested. Bamusanga anywedde omwenge ne bamukwata ku airport.
Ate mutsero banyweramu omwenge.
Nedda yali addayo ku airport ng'addayo mu ggwanga gy'asambira omupiira. Naye wano e Uganda kyo basobola tukwata. Kyekyekibuuzo kubanga ebweru bakwata ne bakuba bbaani wano Uganda bakwata
tebabakkiriza kunywa mwenge
tebakkiriza kunywa mwenge nawe ng'ogenda kutambula ng'oli musambi wa mpira ate wa ggwanga
wa ezo dynamics gwazimanyi kambikulekere
mwasize mutya abalayi ba S24 wano wetwogera kaba kaseera ka byamizannyo Smart Sport Rise osobola okubanga wetegereza amawulire mangi nnyo Biharimana Shakira wenjogera nzize era nga tujja kubatandikirako wali ebweru w'eggwanga omusambi wa Bungereza nga captain wa Bungereza eggwanga nga musambi wa timu ya Manchester United yasambirawo club ya Everton najja nasobola kubanga ate twogera ali wali asambira DC era nga mwana mulenzi Makwanoni emyaka 33 egy'obukulu amawulire agasobodde okubanga avuddeyo jjukira nti omwaka gwa 2017 bamukwata nga anywedde omwenge ng'atamidde ng'avuga ne bamukuba fine yali ya mitwalo 25 ate olunaku olwabadde ennaku z'omwezi zaali ate 5 nga yasobola okubanga yakwatibwa mu mwezi gwa Desemba nasobola okubanga ate basobola okubanga bava namutaako evumbi era nga Makwanoni olunaku olwaleero bagenda kubanga basala omusango era n'abamukutte ng'omusango guno gumugudde mu vi bandimuwa ban oba bandisobola okubanga ate bamugamba namutanza ensimbi jjukira nti wali e Bungereza oba wali mu Europe tebakukkiriza kubanga otambula ng'onywedde omwenge kubanga otambula ng'okosiza ebiragalagala ova nasobola okubanga ate bakusaako evumbi wano mu ggwanga erya Uganda wano mu Africa bimekasobodde okubanga tulengera nti bikolebwa abateesobola okubanga bibikola ne Uganda kibeerayo nga kitambula naye ng'ate sometimes tavaayo okubanga ate bateekawo amateeka amakakali naye ng'ate wali ebweru w'eggwanga olaba nti omuvubuka omwami ono Makwanoni musambi wa mupiira asobodde okubanga anywedde omwenge kisobola okubanga ate abeera nga atyoboola omupiira guno n'okubanga atagwesa kitiibwa kyo olaba nti bo bava nasobola okubanga ate babeera so strict ku ngeri emu oba endala era nga Makwanoni yasasula ssente olunaku lw'omusango gumuse mu vi tetumanyi ki ekinasobola okubanga kigenda mu maaso naye nga byo tujja kubanga tubikutuusako wano ku S24 agamawulire nga tusobodde okubanga tugaziza ku mabbali tujja genda ku tiimu ya Real Madrid olunaku olwabadde olw'eggulu oba ekiro ekikeseza olunaku olwaleero yasobodde okubanga asambye club ya Real Sociedad omupiira guno gwagenza okubanga gugwa nga Real Madrid bagikubidde ku Santiago Bernabeu egoozi abadde 2-0 era nga amawulire agasobola okubanga gavayo ne gatambula ye ttiimu eno eya Real Madrid okusinziira ku bawagizi bagamba Florentino Perez president asobola okubanga ate addako ebbali nejjuke nti ekisanja kye kyasobola okubanga kigenda ddala mu maaso filosofe ya Real Madrid baleeta ba presidents basobola okubanga bagenda kubanga babayamba clubs zaabwe president n'avaayo n'agamba nti ndiredde okubanga nteekamu ssente bwe ziti okubanga ndeeta omusambi okubanga mbasuubiza obaleetera ekikopo zijjukira nti yabagamba nti ngenda kuleeta mwana mulenzi Cristiano Ronaldo mu mwaka gwa 2013 ate nsobola okubanga mbawangulira ekikopo ekya Spanish La Liga kw'ossa UEFA Champions League era at least yawangulayo ekikopo kyali kimu olengera nti nno naye season ewedde yata Cristiano Ronaldo n'agenda nasobola okubanga talina musambi gwe yaliplacinga wawo olina okubanga ate ayamba era nga Real Madrid tulina okubanga performinga bulungi yadde nga teyatwala La Liga naye yatwala ekikopo ate ekya UEFA Champions League naye nga emijoozi zasobola okubanga gyavaayo ne gitambula ne gitundibwa se ne zitola okubanga zijja Real Madrid otwogera kati omusingi gweriko teri musambi sabazi nasobola kubanga avaayo n'atunda mujoozi ku ssente zasobola okubanga abaali baleeta ate nga ye mugagga ye president agamba nti are ready okubanga akwata ssente agenda agula mwana mulenzi Eden Hazard okuva ku ali mu ttiimu eya Chelsea Eden Hazard buyout clause ye mu club ya Chelsea erimu millions 8 eza pound millions 8 eza pound buyout clause y'omusambi nga Eden Hazard jjukira nti nno bagula Cristiano Ronaldo millions 8 mu 2013 banasobola okubanga bayita Eden Hazard ku buyout clause ate nga balina okubanga bongera mu ssente jjukira nti era agamba nti yeetaaga omuvubuka gwe bayita Harry Kane omuvubuka ono Mungereza ava club ya Tottenham Hotspurs netana kubanga bavayo kubanga batugamba sente meka naye nga Florentino Perez sigo omulundi ogusooka okubanga ayogera ku basambi bano okubanga abeetaaga sizoni ewedde yayogera ku basambi basatu Sebastian Coates okuva mu klabu ya Chelsea n'amugula naye ate teyagula ate abavubuka balala kubanga ate bamuyambako nja kubanga nvakawo ngendeko ate wano munda mu ggwanga erya Uganda club ya Vipers FC mu January mwezi guno gwenyino January ennaku z'omwezi zabadde mukaaga olunaku olwabadde olweggulo yasayininze omwana mulenzi Innocent Wafula aka Essemu basobodde okuba nga bamutodde mu club ya Gor Mahia abaye takyafuna playing time emala wali mu ggwanga ery'e Kenya. Mwana mulenzi ono Innocent jjukira nti no yava wali yabeerako wano munda mu ggwanga ery'e Uganda era nga yakulira wali ejjinja nasobola okuba nga yasambirako club ya Jinja Hippos nasobola okuba nga bwe yavaawo n'agenda mu ggwanga ery'e Kenya neyegatta club ya Gor Mahia gyakubira emipiira emingi ate nasobola okuba nga bayamba okuwangula ebikopo bibiri eby'omuddiringanwa ebya Kenya Premier League naye era bagamba nti yasobodde okuba nga yakutudde deali ye ne ttiimu ya Vipers naye nga deali ye bagamba nti bamuwadde amawulire agava mu club ya Vipers bamuwadde sign on fee naye basobodde okuba nga baganya okuba nga boogera figures omanye lwaki kisobola okuba nga kibeera wano e Uganda nti boogera figures z'omusambi z'omuwadde kisobola okuba nga kibakakatako okuba nga basasula emisolo most of the times olaba nti abasambi abasingana mu ggwanga erya Uganda teboogera muwendo gwa nsimbi gwasobodde okuba nga ate basobola okuba nga babaki oba olaba ate wano S24 tusobola okuba nga tuvayo ne tukivumya tugamba nti omuntu alina okuba nga atubuulira figures nasobola okuba nga omanya nti omusolo gutambula gutano mu ggwanga erya Uganda bingi tusobola okuba nga tukutuusako wano ate ku S24 era nga tugenda kuba twetolamu katono nnyo omukulu Frank Gashumba ali very smart naye tayambadde blue tayambadde yellow tujja kuba ng'olengera kala ya suit gyayambadde but is really smart biharimana Shakira katwetolemu katono tukomawo.
Welcome back from the sports updates from Shakila. My name is Jacqueline Arinda and this is the Smart Talk on Smart 24 TV. With me, I have Frank Gashumba.
Bukedde, how are you?
Bukedde. How are you?
Good, good.
Wasuze bulungi?
Ebwakedde.
Banange happy new year.
Happy new year. Twakivuddeko dda. Tuli mu happy January.
Tetunavu. Ate January yeso. Ndi bulungi nnyo nnyo.
Weekend yanyumye?
Nnyo.
Did you go out? You had fun?
Nyinza obutagenda out naye nga nnyumye.
By the way, talk about it. Mu Uganda tulowooza mutu having a fun is going out.
Going out.
You can have fun from home.
From home. I tell you, I live from one room at it. Yes. So please.
Abatulaba mwenna mwebale tulaba. Good morning. It's early in Uganda. Abamu ndowooza mu nsi ez'ebweru America kiro. Aba havinze a wonderful weekend. Twebaza Mukama. Weekend bwe bati yagenze bulungi kati kusabire eddaka ebeere bulungi. Nammwe abagenze ne muspendinga lavishly, mwaspendinze lavishly over the weekend. Nenye mwaspendinze bo bagenda zibankinga today on Monday.
Well, abantu kabasasanye sente zaabwe. Ne
ekitukweza wano Jackie every morning to motivate, to inspire and to guide. Nze believing that people must have fun. Ne otabira na limited fun. Oyinza okumaliriza nga obeera complaininga all the time.
Well, katugende ku mulamwa gwa leero, omulamwa gwaffe ogwa leero ku Smart Talk tugamba nti olina okugala oluggi olwaki Mr. Gashumba?
Olina okugala oluggi olw'excuses. Kyetutegeeza nti koma okwekubagiza.
Olw'okwekubagiza.
Musungu kyebayita bati ekyo?
Excuses.
Koma okwekubagiza otandike okuthinkinga positively. Mu Africa here tulina tendency y'okwekubagiza every day. Netulowooza someone is behind my failure. I'm not performing well at work because so and so. Mu abaana b'essaawa zino bwe muba musaba emirimu contract gy'osigning ekugamba you have to be at work at 8:30. The first week obeera at 8:30, eddako n'otuuka 9, eddako n'otuuka 9:30, oluusi ne bakuwoninga, oluusi ne bakususpendinga, n'otandika okushiftinga
your blame, shifting the blame game.
Omuntu omulala munange ku mulimu tebanjagala nasangayo omuntu atanjagala. Lekera stopping okwekubagiza otandike okulivinga positively ng'okola ebintu ebiri positive. Mbadde mpulira Robin Sharma, one of the best motivational speakers, yagamba nti tandika okukola those small good things every day. I will give you an example.
Without any excuses.
Yes, Jackie Singa oli meant kuzukuka at 5:30 every morning.
Nzukuka sawa 10.
Nochitandika. At the end of the day omubiri gujja kuadaptinga culture eyo nga by 5 okoze eki ozukuse. Ne omubiri bwe gutandika okuadaptinga ebintu ebiri negative era bye bijja okuleeta ne excuses. Omuntu eyamanyira okwekubagiza oba okushiftinga
blame n'agiteeka ku mulala.
Buli kaseera aba n'ensonga. Baba n'ensonga nnyingi nnyo ez'okuwa. Saatuuse leeti kubanga enkuba yatonnye nti osulawa nti najja nankumbi naye nga nnyina mukwano gwange yesuze najja nankumbi kizonentamu. Saatuuse mu budde kubanga emmotoka yaweddeko omuliro battery naye ng'emmotoka tagirina waka. Saatuuse mu budde kubanga neighbor wange omwana we yabadde mulwadde omwana we akukwatirako wa. You're getting me? So galawo oluggira okwekubagiza otandike okuwritinga your destiny.
Kati okwekubagiza kubeera kwa mulimu kwokka oba kugendako ne mu business?
Mu bintu bingi etulaga. Kankuwa example. Relationships ozimanyi. Nadde njwale mukwano gwange gulo sijja mu mentioninga wano. Nangamba nze nakoowa ebyensi, nakoowa abasajja, men are users and everything. Ne mugamba fine. If men are users ate mmwe.
For abakyala. Yes,
ne mubuuza before we can even argue a lot. Relationship wakabeera mu meka nti nyingi nnyo. Wali ozaawo newe kola self evaluation.
N'obuuza lwaki bagenda.
Wonderful. Oyinza okubanga waliwo ekitali kitereevu. Nze nkigamba nnyo n'abantu bwe badde olina omuntu gw'oyagala nga mubadde deeply in love, relationship ne breaking it down. Call this person for a cup of tea or lunch. Omubuuze we are no longer together, but kindly this is my nyonyola what exactly happened so that in my next relationship it doesn't happen. Ompulira.
So in a relationship tuba tulina okuteeka naye kankuze.
Let me tell you kankuwa example. Tobeeranga na muntu nga olusu olumuvaamu toyagala musemberera. Tebaliyo.
jebali
kati omuntu ayinza okulekawo ng'oba olusuolo omuntu olumuvaamu sirungi ekirala oyinza okuba nga oyomba nnyo oyinza okuba nga tosiima buli akatono kenyina naye kakuba tokola ki tosiima so ne mugamba nkubuulire nga tonaba kushifutinga bulemu eri keera ku makya naaba omubiri sigala ng'oli mukunyanga wazaalibwa mu ruumu yeeyo tunuulira omukyala gwolaba mu dressing mirror oyo mubuuze nti bizibu ki by'olina your own weaknesses that mirror will tell you omanyi Jackie kankuulire tusobola okulimba ne twefuula abatuukirivu teri kyenkana muki mutima
niweebuuza gwe weeyisa otya
you as you
mu bantu abalala
lwaki Peter yandekawo lwaki Arnold yandekawo lwaki Moses yandekawo
lwaki Jenny yandekawo
you're getting me netwezuula nenga nti excuses bwe ntegeera nti mwogera nnyo waaka abakyala muzoogera nnyo waaka nze sizoogera
ne waaka nayo bweba teriiwo kiba kitambula katugende mu maaso
fine ate n'ekirala abasajja abamu tebalina waaka lwakuba tebamanyi tebawakinga out zira bagamba mu abasajja abandawano hii waaka ze babagamba go and work out fuga akagali for 45 minutes a day for week mama w'abaana n'akuwulira
Mr. Gashumba nze kanguze kati nga tugenze ku mirimu obadde okinyonyola bulungi ng'ogamba tetulina kwekwasa ku mulimu bw'oba olina okukola kino kikole
you must deliver
beyond excuses beyond anything now kati nga obadde oyogera ku bantu abakolera abalala kati ababakozesa
anti kankwekizambo
kubanga n'aba bakozesa osanga Mr. Gashumba ng'omuntu omugamba bosi badde nkusaba olaba engeri gy'oŋŋamba nti nkeerewa ku makya bwe mba nzija wano ku makya bwe mba nkeera nga nzija wano mukama wange getiyo ebansiba emmanyi n'okuyimirira wabweru ninda sikaali
geti ya kampani mwokolera
nga kampani mwokolera nganze n'omugamba naye nandikusabye mpozi ompeekwe omuwe ekisumuluzo oyagulawo abeere nga
kiri bwe kiti for example Jackie, if your contract says you have to be at work at 8:30, by 8:20 mbanko expecting. Gwo mulimu gwo guli gumu kutuuka budde bwe yakola ki bwe yakugamba ine bwajja kumona.
Nenyimirira ku gate.
Ye. Choyina okumanya gwo gamba okuyimira ku gate. Ayinza okuba yayimira emyaka 10. Ekisinga obukulu contract esaawa ze bamugamba zeezo. You are getting me? Nze ndi wane esaawa ze. Abantu benkola nabo batuuse. Ne good enough nabo ekiki ekisumuluzo. Waliwo muyangamba mukaba nsaba kunnyamba nti why nze ntuuka mu kibuga at 7 nembuza why. Ti omuntu ampa ku lift aveeka sawa 12 nampa ku lift nenda she's a very young this is a very young girl nekyalazi nga kyangamba kituufu nemuwa ebisumuluzo avantebe
kati okirabe kyembadde nkugamba
nate mulimu abasula naggulu nenakawa abatuuka late tuli ku S24 bakimu ba producers this is what I need netaga kamera 4 netaga table bweti netaga kino bwe kine bwe kiti nze ngandete engalabi yange wano ng'otuula bwe sibisangawo gwe sigwanga
nze mbadde njagala oyogerere ku abo abakozesa n'abo abakozesa nabo balina okuclosingako olwolugi lwaki
bo balina eddala lye balinnya buli lwoliyagala okompitinga ne mukamaawo akoze kino ogenze kiringa nga ggwe mukamaawo bwakutwalanga for lunch tosabanga emmere nga tannakusaba sooka olinda amala okukola ki
okusaba
tosaba byasabye oweewanise mukamaawo toyingiranga emmotoka ng'akwadde lifuti nga tanabakola ki
kuyingira
you're getting me
oba n'otuula emabega n'atuula mu maaso
naye actually yalina n'okugamba where to sit you're getting me
exactly
so bwe tuba mu bino ebintu nga twagala ogaidinga eggwanga tosobola kudibetinga CEO yenanyini ki
yenanyini kintu
ate yakugamba nti what
nze mbadde nkiraba ng'ogenzeko mu Western Uganda balina eŋŋombo nti bw'oyagala okulya nga nanyini nnyumba ojja kuwunzika nga tolina nva kubanga ye enveeze baba baziterese omanyi nanyini nnyumba bamuterekera enva nti bwe ziggwawo bamuwe naye gwe bw'oba oli mwana n'olya enveezo n'ogamba nze nja kulya nga kitaawange ojja kuwunzika nga tolina
ate actually fe ate waliwo olugero mu Buganda olugamba nti bw'olaba nanyini maka ayingira ekkutiya gwe tosaba bulangiti meaning singa Jackie nkyadde ewuwo nga ssaawa zakwebaka nenkulaba nga weesonseka ekkutiya kitegeeza tewali bulangiti nze sinza kusaba ki bulangiti so lwaki njogera ekintu kino kikulu nnyo abantu abasinga all over the world tutendinga okujustifying our individual weaknesses netuzifuula official excuses. Ontegera ndowooza nze nakugambye bwe nzija wano nze si generating amasanyalaze wano production ne departments enzira zazina okumakinga sure nti amasanyalaze gakoze eki
meaning everyone should play their role.
Thank you katukisamalize nze
buli omu azanye namba ye ebirala obite bijja kwekola
kizeeyo ne kiri kitwadukonyeko ne relationships bwemba if I'm in love gova mbalala nze nva Kampala ovuga nzija you get me
sinkana masaka
yes it's a two way I love you so much nkwagala nnyo excellent but do you love me do you care for me do you support me lwaki mu nyumba yange mbeeramu ne Jackie naye buli kyange maid yakimanyi we kiri bwe njagala socks bwezi yazikola ki yazimanyi
banange nkeera ku macha ngenda ku mulimu ye bagamba nno
webale nnyo okeera
ku macha
webale nnyo ekyo nkikiriza 10 ku 10 nnyo Jackie okeera ku macha oddayo wakasawa mmeka
nzirayo sawa 3
egwekiro ng'okola wo
obadde obuuzanze badde neetadde mu kiti ky'omukazi omufumbo ng'alina omulimu
no omukyalo omufumbo abasinga ndoza 9 ku 10 banyuka at 5 they expected latest by 7 they have to be home ompulira ndowooza bwadde abakoma kyalina osooka okukola genda mu kiyungu teeka ensawo yo ku dining whatever ku dining room or dining table genda mu kiyungu kebera maid wange gwani gwe
era afumbye
no anti ulira kyewamugambye kankuvugemu awo katono nze kubanga experience eno njina bw'ova waka ku makya omukyala yenna gamba maid ekyemisana mufumbe enkoko matooke kawunga bulabulabula ekyeggulo mufumbe amatooke kawunga bulabula nebigenderako siwe kiri fine gw'olukomawo okkola kawungeezi nga tonnaba kubaako kyewakoze genda mu kiyungu kyewagambye maid okufumba kyekyo nti kyekyo
akifumbye nga bw'oyagala
beautiful wonderful genda mu kinaabiro naabako tandika okuwakinga DSTV omwami akomawo saawa nga 4 anti obamanyi bakomawo 5 nga gwoyo kyolinga nga kuuka naye mwensobi gye mukola
naye ko si kwekwasa nakuwo okomawo saawa 4
kino nkikubuulira Jackie bw'oli yagala okompitinga n'obusajja obwo obufumbo bukoze eki buganye
badde manyi twogera nti closing a door eya excuse
anti kino kigamba Jackie nze ogwange nga Gashumba nga mpasiza tomorrow guli gumu ku making sure nti buli kintu kyemwetaaga waka kikoze eki
weekiri
omukyalo wange taligula bintu bya waka talisasula DSTV talisasula umeme taliwerera by'abaana ebyo byange ng'omusajja bye binfuula omusajja si suuti eno obuvunaanyizibwa obwo Jackie omulimu gwo guli gumu to oversee our home no si asikali to oversee our home munda oyina wuuva eziwuuvinga si gwe oyina okuwuuvinga abakozi balina okukola ki tulina ebyuma ebyoza engoye si gwe oyina obikola ki obikozesa bw'oba ofunye maid omupya mulage
oli supervisor
wasoma kwanza omukyalo wange simu expecting nze ate komawo saawa 4 ng'owunya obutungulu ova mu kiyungu kufumba no njagala nkusange ng'owunyanga buno obumuli bwa looza
tuddeyo nga tugamba nti oyina okugala olugi
olw'okwekubagiza okwekomoma okubeerawo nga buli kaseera you come up with a silly excuse suppostinze story online kubanga nadde sina data
nolabye manyi gundi yayina okukikola
thank you nenga gundi webale nnyo suppostinze story ya smart 24 online nga sina data hopeless nenga ali active ku WhatsApp no ali active ku WhatsApp ne Facebook eyiye agamba zino sente siza company no you must be loyal to this company gyokolera sap mukama wange story yosasobodde gifayiringa mu budde nti why amasanze gadde gagenze the whole day no olimba omuntu ayagala okukola adduka n'agenda mu cafe n'akola ebintu ebyo ontegeera ndowooza mukama wange twakoze story eyo kubanga twadde situlina mmotoka olimba era omwana alina passion y'okukola ajja kukwata kamera alinye bodaboda akole ki agende let me come quick example singa gwe CEO wa the CNN omwana ajja naga mukama wange batubanja emitwalo 3 nti gyaki we had stories to file but wali motoka nenfuna bodaboda omwana omutunulira otya oga ono omwana ayinza okubeeramu ekirala ne kati omulala excuse agamba twabaddewo motoka tetwakoze tewabaddewo kakiringa nga maid awakati nga tewali bintu nga ku kyalo kwabadde nga alina obuduuka bwagulako ebintu tasobola maid kutuuka waka nga tewali mbere era ajja agenda ku bwadduuka abagamba mumpeyo hafu kiro y'omuceere ontege kubanga bakola ki
Mambi wajjanja
yes obwo obuntu obutono mulaba ng'obwokusaaga ne butegeeza ki nze ate kyenzudde mu Uganda wano twekubagiza nnyo tutendinga nnyo kushiftinga our individual weaknesses ne tuziteeka ku bantu abaki bantu abalala
blame shifting nze mbadde ndaba abantu abangi naddala ku mirimu nga bw'oyogedde ku mirimu ogamba ono lwaki tewakoze kiro ng'akulaga chain of excuses.
Thank you.
Sakoze kino kubanga gundi yabaidde ayina okola naye katuddeyo bw'ondooza Mr. Gashumba wandigambye nsonyiwa mu kifo ky'okuwa excuses.
Naye nakusonyiwa mirundi emeka?
Naye tekyentegeeza bw'oba okoze eyo ensobi leero mu kifo ky'okuddawo ate onyonyole mukama wo nti olaba asaakoze kino oba kino gamba mukama wange ensonyiwa enkeero ddemu amagezi otandika okukola.
Ekyo nkikkiriza tulina omuntu bwe yeenenya tulina omusonyiwa naye tusobola buli lunaku tusobola kubanga weenenya buki?
Weenenya buli lunaku?
Weenenya buli ki? Waliwo ebintu ebiteetaagisa nakukola ki? Nenkusonyiwa tudde nenkeera naluli noyingira mu office nga wenna amaaso gali mu parking omanyi kitegeeza yasuze anywa
wasuze wabwe
nti nasuze twabadde tufiiriddwa naye ng'okimanyi teyakoze eki oli najja ku makyanga yenna alinganga
aziika abeewaabwe ne baggwako jjajja yafudde anti yafudde
kyova olaba bannaffe bali abayindi abachina bagenda tumalako emirimu ewaabwe tewali room for next years manyi waliwo gayi gwe bayita Lugendo yali red paper Lugendo yaŋŋamba bwe yali yakamaliza e Makerere nga munnamawulire ng'atambula okuva e Namuwongo
paka ku Ssomero
n'ava olumu e Namuwongo paka n'akulabye agenze kunonyayo story ku bigere tewaliyo smartphones naye nga gyagenda ku bigere waliyo omukolo oguli n'akulabye afayiringa esitola atambuze ebigere ajja agifayiringe ku monitor naye kakati omuntu aba ne gadgets zonna zino smartphones iPads zonna n'alema okufayiringa ki? You're getting me? So kyekyo
kati katudde ku birungi ki byofunamu ng'owejjeeko ekyo ekikolibwa
gw'ofunamu sinze nfunamu
birungi ki omuntu byafunamu
self improvement ebintu bino ebintu biringanga bw'ogenda mu jimu wali ogenzeko mu jimu
gendayo
good
tondaba
sikulaba sikulaba kakati jimu omanyi kibayita dambelo zino zetusitula wonderful naye guno omukono ndigusulanga dambelo kakati lwosoosa okugenda mu jimu oyinza okusitula 1 kilo bot naye lwozzeeyo n'ogenda ku kilo 2 lwozzeeyo kilo 3 lwozzeeyo kilo
bw'oyongerako
mpola n'ebizibu by'ensi these minor excuses zitandika mpola ne becoming a huge kiringa nga gwe bonaaba neka black spot one n'okaleka akaane kajja ogenda okwesanga nga sayidi emu yonna ekoze eki weddewo so zino excuses zijjanga empola ne zimaliriza ontegeera kankuwa ekirala bino bitwogera tuli ku show we are here to motivate and to inspire ffenna mu binaabiro byaffe tulinayo babuyita buno bupeeyo babateeka panties biki ebyo n'obubokisi mubabuteeka kapeyiro kabanga kapeyiro kubanga gyoba omaze okukozesa muziteeka si bwe kiri nze mbirivinga bwoba olina panties nga 50 kasa zituuka nga zituuse 40 oba bag mubimanyi ebyo neffe Masaka eri gye twakula ebyo tebyaliyo tuteeka mu kaveera oba Masaka twateekanga mu kaveera teri kakati
myaka ki ekyo
myaka 1961 ku birthday ya Idi Amin
Uganda
so ulira kubanga bwe manya nti nno zisigadde I have 50 of them kati zingidde mu 40 ndi expected zino zisookinga zisule mu hormone biki enkeera zozewezekeweyo naye waliwo omuntu azikosa ne ziggwawo n'addamu eziddugala omanyi akugamba munange mbadde busy nnyo naye nga tebwakomawo kawungeezi abeera ku DSTV so much more
n'abeera ku WhatsApp kati nze ekyokubiri kyenjigamu nga naddala oggyeko ekyo ekintu ky'okwekubagiza si kyekyo
okwekubagiza
excuses nze ndaba kariyayo ejja kukula lwaki ebiseera ebingi omuntu bwakuleeta ku mulimu yensonga lwaki totandikira ku bukaddaana otandikira ku musaala guli gw'otandikirako kati bw'alaba ng'ofaayo nnyo aba amanyi ajja kukulakulana naawe akusigaza naye yensonga lwaki if you have a lot of excuses owunzika nga stage yoliko tokoze eki tovuddeewo kubanga omuntu anaakutwala ku mulimu ajagamba oyo Gashumba nga tojja musobola oyo bw'alwala bw'akola kino ajja kugamba abaana bange ate nno abazadde be bakyasinze kati akugamba
kati nze nyina gwe nawumuza olw'ekyo nga buli wiiki waliwo afudde waliwo omwana omulwadde waliwo kino naye ng'ate sente ze mbadde musasula nga 27 naye bwe ziwera nga 27 ewiiki efemba bitalwala kubanga ayagala muki
omusaala
tugenda mu kalango bwe tukomawo tugende ku feezi endala wano ku Smart 24.
This is the Smart Talk with Jacqueline Arinda and Mr. Gashumba.
Frank
The break. This is the Smart 24 TV, and this is the Smart Talk show with my with Mr. Gashumba and myself.
Tufunye kakati Smart tugenda jita 5 am. Sawa 10 am. 5 am nga kitegeeza. You want to build a future, you want to be someone who is respected in the society, you have to wake up at 5 am.
Chechitufu. But tugamba ku mulamwa gwaffe stop
Whining.
Stop piling excuses. Piling excuses. So the question is, how can you stop? Because this is a habit.
Osobola stopping ngo osazeewo. The change you want starts with you. Enkyukakyuka yonna gye weetaaga mu bulamu bwo etandikira ku ggwe. Kino nkiddamu, the change you want in your life starts with you. Teddy ffe tukuyamba buyambi. Gw'osalawo n'ogamba this is it. Nga bw'okyogedde nga sonna bakujja on air nti abantu baba ne resolutions 2019. No, eyina gamba today. okuva na leero I have to be a better person. How? Mbadde ntuuka late ku mulimo, nja kutuuka mu budde. Mbadde nyambala nga bwe nsanze, ngenda okutandika okulaba
changing wardrobe yonna n'otuula waka ng'olw'omukaaga n'ogisortinga n'ogamba bino
sikyabyetaaga kubanga bangi mu abakyala ate naffe abasajja osanga omuntu ng'alina amasaati ge yagula 1920s nga gakyali awo gagabira abantu. Tandika okugamba nti I'm going to be a better person. How? Sigenda kukola kino bwekiti ne bwekiti, sigenda kuddamu kushiftinga my individual weakness ku muntu omulala. For example, mukama wo n'akugamba last week on Thursday, Jackie neetaaga brief ku walabye ekiwandiiko kya National Bureau of Standards ekisaturatinga mbu waliyo eddagala eribadde ku marketing nga tiriri ku standard. Beautiful. Mukama wo n'akugamba nti neetaaga facts, brief facts. Eddagala eryo lyavaawo. Leero n'olabikako n'ogamba internet tebaddeeko, sites nazinoonya. Bw'oba oli serious nga you are in to help your boss, ojja contactinga munne akusinga mu area eyo nti mukama wange yaŋŋambye kino, I badly need this information. Bw'onootandika okulowooza positively, ogenda ku attracting abantu abali positive. Ekyo kikulu nnyo. Bw'onootandika okulowooza nti I no longer need excuses, ogenda funa abantu abali results oriented.
Bagenda okupushinga. Oluusi ngamba nti bw'oba olina emikwano kiringa Mr. Gashumba okubeera awantu nga wakyama. Kati katugambe nti oli mu bbaala Sunday. Bw'oba olina emikwano egiri ku mulamwa gijja kugamba naye tokola enkya. Gijja kutandika okukubuuza ebigambo ogenda. Tojja kukola enkya.
Sawa zino ziri mmeka?
Sawa mmeka?
Ne bw'onoobeera n'emikwano gyo bataano.
Bakugamba twongeremu one for the road.
Wano kyekyeyo
tubeere nga babeera bagamba batuweeyo ecupa esembayo.
Kakati ompulidde. Kakati in the process omalirize ovuge muloka ng'otamidde omuluka ogicrash.
Weebake weerabira omulimu ozuuke saawa
nga tonabe nakwerabira. Waakiri weerabira omulimu ogivuge ng'otamidde ogicrash nga amagulu gamenyeke. Emmoloka wagifuna kusala lerooni. Mukama waagenda okitegeera nti emmoloka gye wakrashinze wagicrashinze ng'okoze eki? Onywedde muzibu. Oli kavalingi asala amagezi gonna akukole ki? Akugobe. You are getting me ologenzi. So if you want to live a better life, a results oriented life, noonya abantu abali mu layini eyo. Ate mwegamba buli emu abasula bagomoka mu mabaala gonna. Dembe lyamwe fine. Ne mukimanye nti waliyo n'abatagomoka. Kyovola naliko e London eyo waliwo club gye twali tuvaamu nga kuliko ekipande ebweru nti mussa amaloboozi gammwe mu neighborhood muno mulimu abatasula nga bagomoka. Goyinza okugomoka ekiro ng'oza ffenna tukoze eki? Tugomoka.
Ffenna kyekimu.
So noonya abantu abali results oriented abateekubagiza. Buuza naye gwe Jackie okikola otya okuba nti by 6 every morning oli mu kikuubo oli on a live show? Do you know why? You must go to bed early. Go to bed at 10 a.m. Sorry, yeah, 10 p.m. Genda mu kitanda. Ogambe nebakira saa mmeka nti nebakira dates. Mateeka bagamba nti omuntu omulamu olina okwebakira saa 8. Neti kikyasoboka kuwasiwasi bwe tulimu.
Tekyasoboka. Naye ndowooza n'ekirala.
N'ekirala kankulaga ekirala. Genda tandika okufollowinga social media blogs ezirightinga positivity, not negativities. The moment you start following social media blogs ezirightinga ebintu ebitazzaamu maanyi, mind ye egenda kuswitchinga awo. Ekirala tandika okuwuliza radio ezikuinspiringa eziri positive,
eziri ne field ya gundi y'omulimu gwo. Oyinza okusanga oli munnamawulire naye by'olimu bw'omanye ekivulu ekyagenze kino ate nga toli mu entertainment industry, toli presenter oli wa sports, naye sports basamba omupiira bakubuza ku makya Arsenal yakoze ate omanyi ng'ogamba internet.
Ate ne sports nakyo kati kankubulire nze nyina mikwano gyange abaripotinga ku sports many. Era manyi olumu bagamba ebyo bintu by'emipiira by'omanyi obitegeera otya. Olaba World Cup eyagwa mu Uganda muno mulimu omuntu nga buli musambi yasamba mu World Cup amumanyi ne ttiimu mwasambira. Naye ng'engalabi y'ekawungeezi atambuza bigere okudda awaka. Ne weebuuza omutwe gwo guno gwonna ebintu by'omanyi ebyo bigasa ki? Kati kankuwulira example. If I was in a relationship, kinkakatako ku guidinga my girlfriend or my future wife. Tinkubuli, darling, you know what, I love you so much. But I don't think you have a future there. Si tuufu. Yes, bikusanyusa nnyo ne tebikola ki? Tebijja kuyamba. Kati oyo omuwala singa abadde adeetinga omusajja ali in line mweno byalimu ebyekisiru ajaga you are the boss boyfriend. Ne bambi indirectly abamutta buki? Abamutta busi. Kati kanku example positivity ogambye ku working out. Nze I would encourage any young girl to go out and work out. Oba kola aerobics once in a week. Omanya aerobics ebinzina gye babazinisa 1 hour non stop. No 2 years nebituyo byekyavu ebyo bimanyi. In 2 years zikuvamu ezirimu omunyu. Ekirala when you go out and no working out there is another social class y'abantu joyininga.
Kituufu. Kati Mr. Gashumba n'ekirala abantu kye balina okumanya okwejjako ekyo ekintu ky'okubeera ng'olina excuse kwe kuyiga okuyimirira ku magulu go n'ogamba kino sijja kikola kino nja kikola. Leka nnyonyere lwaki ngamba ki. Mr. Gashumba omukwano gwe agenda n'akuyita leero Sunday enkyo olina okuzukuka ssaawa 10. Nakugamba omanyi mbadde wano mbadde njagala ndropingeko oba jangu tugende waliwo birthday ya mukwano gwange. N'ogamba wono mukwano gwange nnyo olina okuyiga okumugamba nti look here enkya nyina okuzukuka ssaawa 10 nandyagadde okutwala naye nja kuzukuka leero kubanga abantu abangi baagala okusanyusa abantu ate bawunzika nga ebintu tebabikoze byonna ayagala kusanyusa oli asanyusa oli ate ng'ebibye yensonga lwaki obuweebuuza abantu bulijjo bafa Mr. Gashumba olaba abantu baziika buli lunaku.
Jackie nkusesa ekirala bw'onookyusa life yo banno bennyini bagenda kutandika okwekubira obwama okwenibokisa nti why Jackie yakyuka tomukubira simu ng'omugamba eyo simanya birthday party. For example Jackie olina birthday party ya mukwano gwo lwaki ogamba Linda akuwerekere? Oyinza okubanga eri ku party kwogenda babudgetingidde abantu 10 ng'oleese abantu 2
extra buli omu aleese extra that's doubling that.
Nze kati kanku example nze tusobola kumukubira simu ssaawa 5 6 okujjako nga iri in line with work. Nze omuntu ayinza kumukubira simu ssaawa 6 mbw ava mu kidongo no era nze eryato bwe lyagwa nze nali ku faamu e Masaka mukwano gwange n'aŋŋamba obiwulidde ebiguddewo nti ye nti sinabbiwulira nti eryato liguddemu n'abantu nga 10 kiraka bafudde. Teyaŋŋamba nti oli seefu teyaŋŋamba nti oli seefu no kubanga sibigendamu insurance yange tenzikiriza bigendamu ebyo okitegeera kiringa ng'okuŋŋamba nti Gashumba bamukubidde akatayimbwa ekamwokya ng'anywa bbeeru ku lubalaza tekisoboka sisobola gunyweramu eyo. Kati mikwano gyo bajja kitegeera nti banemba buulire Jackie si yooli si yooli omanyi lwaki kati Jackie life yo bwena ekyenjinga ogenda kutandika okunoonya abantu abalivinze life eyo all their life ng'owedde olwo ogenze a positive life ojja kutandika okunoonya nti ne tushi gwopreparingira otya yo show kubanga Jackie twalibadde olina okumanya nti ekya tugenda kukola show ku kintu bwe kiti nokola preps. You are getting me. Ne bw'oba wasuze ne banno omulamuzi ono Chief Justice Bati Katurebe yakola statement eyanshockinga. Omulamuzi Bati Katurebe yagamba mu Uganda musanga lawyer agenda okwapialinga before the Supreme Court bench nga yasuze mu governor nga yasuze mu ndongo. Statement yojulidde yagamba mu Uganda musanga lawyer agenda okwapialinga before Supreme Court bench naye nga yasuze mu club.
Teyakoze preps.
Nothing.
N'omusango bwe gumusinga bw'atandika
si bwe gumusinga gwina omusinga otegera ndo naye nga bate bano bajjaaji bagenda okwapyalingako bamaze wiiki 2 basoma. You are getting me? So eggwanga eno teryafa mu sekita emu lyafa wonna.
Mr. Gashumba tubadde twogera this is the smart talk nga tugamba you should stop piling excuses, you should stop giving excuses. If
be a better person.
Be
a better person by identifying people who live a better life bakikola batya. Yes. Bw'olaba omuwala gwe weegomba ennyo oba bano ba Kim Kardashian ba Beyonce bano ba Jackie okay they have a good body fine bakikoze batya tebalya aimlessly gwe buli kimu n'okiri emamba n'ogiri embizi n'ogiri ebikajjo n'obimeketa okay
mubiri gwagana.
We've seen enough elephants otegera ndowooza.
This is the Smart Talk with Mr. Gashumba and me, of course, and we have only 5 minutes to the top of the hour.
Tukyaliwo Jackie toyina gy'olaga nkuyina leero. We are here to inspire, we are here to educate, we are here to guide. Nze kyekinkeeza wano every morning.
Oyina okubanyonyera bulungi.
Bw'oba oyagala okufuuka president wa Uganda, tobuuza batafuukangako noonya yali abadde.
Yali abaddeko president.
Yes.
Gw'obuuza nti bakikola batya.
Yes. Nze kati omanya okuwamba gavumenti sola consultinga muhoozi. Tawambangako kitaawe yakola ki?
Obuuza nti.
Kitaawe.
Ogamba shonkulu waffe oyo jjajja.
Jjajja, if I want to be a successful #1 billionaire in town, I have to consult Sudiru Pareria, Sagono Nwano, Bamukwano. Ati sola consulting muvuzi wa border. So kyoyagala okubeera ani gw'otunuulira behavior ze ziri ki? You are getting me? Lwaki bwe tolaba muwala n'ogamba you look good?
Mugamba ukikola otya?
Mugambe fine, you look good. Kiki okozesa?
N'obulango oba obulaba. Nedda kyetegeeza obulango olaba babukola with the concept ya weesiiga ki? Enviiri weesiiga mungi. Kitegeeza.
Ebyobulango ebyo tobigendangako oli akuba akalango ka kampani naye ng'akozesa kirala. Ne muyimirize Jack, there's nothing you lose okustopinga omwana omuwala. You look good, okozesa ki? Ajja gamba I drink a lot of water, nkozesa lotion bwete. Kubanga studies ziraga nti abantu aba working out, buli lwo working out n'otuyana skin ekola ki? Etereera. Negwe tugambe tugende tukola aerobics mu speaker apartment wali gwe walumbye dabbeero. Nze nekya neewuunya abaana abawala abato abanyweja emyenge. Omwana omuto tonywera mwenge ku luseke. Olwo bw'onooyingira emyaka 6 namirembe bitamazire onookola otya? You're getting me? So byebyo. If you want to be a better person, look at people. Nze kati singa obuuziza abantu following. If you went to my Instagram account, you'll be shocked.
Bani bo following.
Kati following nnyo motivational speakers. Bali batya ba Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, Lois Brown, Robin Sharma. Now you get ogamba, what's this? Kubajjukira you have
kino badde sikitegedde ate naawe career joina yemu.
Okitegedde. Negwe oyagala kubeera model. Ne ate lolo model wo Catherine Kusaasira kakati bikwatagana bitya.
Oyogedde oyo
ate nono mukwano gwange by the way akimanyi bulungi mitegera
kati kwe
ambassador wa NRM mu kibuga bwoba oyagala Museveni noonya Catherine Kusaasira
nange nsobola omukubirana kati
nze sina kye mwagaza naye ankubiri wabanjagala nkubiri
nze katuddeyo ku gundi kwekubagiza. Now another thing changes leero kyekyo
kati bwe oyagala okuba n'engalo nga zino
gye bayita emikwano
kunaabako buli kaseera
gye bayita emikwano oba oyina mukwano gwo yagenda okuguidinga kyenjize.
Osobola okuba ne mukwano gwo nga comfortable acelebratinga excuses kyo kimanyi
kituufu
mulungi nnyo nga ali very happy.
Ngakufunira ne excuse akugamba bakubire kati kwate essumu yange ogambe nti ndi mulwadde. Nagamba ndi ne Jackie wano mulwadde.
Weebale nnyo. Tewali muwala nze kikubuulira. Tewali muwala ayamba mukwano gwe kulimba boyfriend we. Nenga kyemukola kiki? Kikyamu. Natukana gamba you know what Jacket, she's not feeling well ali mu ddwaliro. Oyinza omuweezeyo kasente ka mobile money. Omusajja omugezi nga gamba muli mu ddwaliro ki?
Okola ekyo kati onaavuga paka mbalala.
Ate embalala omuloodi yennyini abana contacts ajja kubira dokita mukwano gwe oba obiwe oba ogiwe. To have a friend mulwadde nnyo, can you respond?
Ngagendayo ate.
Jackie kyengeza ko ninako eno nsonga nkulu Jackie tonkutula. Those minor excuses and lies or relationship etandise okukola ki? Omusajja abadde akwagala ennyo. Neno Jackie muyaye bulijjo.
Neno omusajja atampa ssente ayagala nti nsooke nnimbe nti ndi mulwadde. Kubanga bw'oba ozimuwa tajja kulinda nti agambe nti ndi mulwadde. Bw'oba ozimuwa tasobola kulinda.
Katonda bakkuba kalango kakati Jackie. Bwe nakukwana yali investment nti nyina okuseekamu ssente yali ki?
Ze yabikola naye bw'oba okkiriza okutwala
nyina okwetika emigugu.
Yes, that was the Smart Talk with Frank Gashumba. Welcome back from that short break. But mpozi mwade mugamba vamukwe kubagiza stop feeling sorry for yourself.
Blame shift again.
Yes, indeed. Of course, that was an interesting topic by Frank Gashumba and Jackie Arinda, and we keep bringing you more of this every day, Monday to Friday. You'll be having Frank here together with Jackie, specifically to wake you up. Yes,
if you can watch us from anywhere, you can join us on our social media platform, Smart24 on Facebook and S24 on Twitter, and so that you catch up. You know, in this digital life, you have to catch up, whether you're where on your phone, load data.
Yes.
Actually, they call it data.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Away from that, we are in for our smart updates here on Smart 24 TV, the Smart Rise Show. And of course, like we said, you can be part of us. She said Facebook, but we're also on Twitter at S24 TV. On Facebook, we are streaming live on the Smart 24 TV page. And of course, have you shared it on your page? Because I've also shared it.
I have shared
yes, so
it.
if you can come to Jacqueline Arinda's page, you should be able to find it. If you can come to Ronald Tush Kamweya's page, you'll be able to find the live stream.
Well, this is the business insight.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, and now,
over the weekend, I had the rare opportunity of interacting with the Obangaina femme, Madame Rachel Magola of Afrigo. Is it Afrigo band? Yes. And I was amazed. This lady, first of all, looks as young. Perhaps even she looks younger. By the way, yes, she looks younger.
Younger than who?
Younger than she was back in the years of Obangaina.
Okay.
Younger than she was back in the years of Obangaina. I was amazed by her level of critical thinking. Later on in our interaction, I was enlightened that, you know, this is a lady who has been doing teaching for quite some time, and now she actually runs a teacher training college. And I thought to myself, okay, this is the kind of lady.
That's a good investment.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Away from that, I also found out that she recently got engaged in politics, and she's seeking another term in office now. Wow. That is politics. But away from that, as a lady, you ought to be inspired because she's relentless. She has been singing for some time and she doesn't give up because
she has learned from the industry.
Yes, indeed. And there was a big debate away from the camera. We had this talk of the music back then and the music today. Today one sings 2 songs and they say, I'm going to do a concert showing my journey in the music industry. Yes. Now, I would imagine my journey should be done by the likes of Rachel Magola, because these are people whose music cuts across. Today they play and everyone just wants to get up, even if it's a young person.
It's a throwback, but everyone gets on the dance.
Yes, yes.
And some musicians actually now, you see them playing a song and it is only a hit for months.
Yes.
But when I get back, I want to actually at least side with the current ones. In the past years, we had only like 2 musicians. That like 4 actually. I think those like the top 4. Then we would play more of Congolese music. We would play more of now. Funny enough, we've also started playing Nigerian music. So it's a competitive world. Unlike in those days where you would find one artist takes over, like the 6 months, one song takes over. But now you really need to be on top of the game to make it sound from Jan to December. But I still salute to those ladies.
Of course, of course.
Especially ladies that sounded, that made and maintained their talent in the music industry by then. A young lady, you can imagine. Because at that time, they would actually now, some people think that joining the music industry is you know, they think you're getting spoiled. So such a lady should really inspire people and show that joining the music industry, it's not about, it's another business.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Of course, we will have a particular show moving forward where we will, a particular segment in our business insights. So I will give you a bit of insights into how the music industry operates. And in that, we will obviously tackle how music was back then and how music is today, but its impact on society will be greatly considered. Away from that, we didn't engage Rachel Magola on music. No. We engaged her on the economy and business. And this is what she had to say. If we can have that interview, this is what she had to say. A very warm welcome here on Smart 24 TV. I am Ronald Tush Kamweya, and today I came across a lady that we last saw back in the years of Bangaina. And, you know, there is a lot happening, and people are asking themselves, where is Rachel Magola? You know? And today I am so humbled to have her on the show. Welcome to the show, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Are you well? Have you been well?
I'm doing great.
And the new year?
The new year, I'm looking forward to great things happening this year.
Interesting.
Yes.
So, away from Rachel Magola, the artist, that brand of Bangaina, where have you been? What are you involved in of late?
Of late, I've been running a teacher training college in Iganga called Walgogo Primary Teachers College. I've been the principal there for the last 10 years.
Wow.
We are trying to train teachers because before it was a primary school, and the kind of teachers we were getting in the school were not what we expected. And we thought maybe we really need to get into training teachers so that we get the kind of teacher we want for ourselves. So we phased out the primary school eventually, and then now we have concentrated on teacher training for nursery teachers, for grade 3 primary school teachers. That's what I've been doing for the last 10 years.
Wow.
But doing the music as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I hope we can be able to capture some of your latest hits.
Well, I will send you a video if you want. You play it.
Yes, indeed. We do need it. Now, ma'am, 2018, let me start from 2016-17. Economically, these were not good years for Uganda, especially given the weather conditions that disfavored the agriculturalists who dominate the economy one way or the other. But 2018 was said to be favorable. What is your opinion? What was your highlight for 2018?
Favorable in that it rained, and there was a bumper harvest, and then the prices dropped by 1,000%. So the farmer who had so much food, they couldn't sell it for anything much. So in a way, they had a lot, but couldn't sell it because it was 200 shillings a kilo, because in Iganga we speak about maize.
Yes.
People do duma for schools, for what. And it was great for us in the schools because we could buy a bag at much less, because it dropped from 170, I think, up to even 50,000.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So now, the farmer, what's that? Zero.
Well, perhaps they
There's no safety net for the farmer. So I think that's my assessment of 2018.
Okay.
There's a lot of food, but there was no plan on how to use it effectively. Because now, this season has failed. So it means by March, food is going back there. And yet we had a great bumper harvest last year, which if it had been either stored properly or given a reasonable price, there's a lot of things that could have been done. But that good season did not benefit the farmer or the businessman. Because if the farmers are poor, everyone is.
Yes, unfortunately. One, I like that in your analysis, you've already mentioned one of the solutions. They ought perhaps to have designed a good storage system. Then at some point we did see the East African community, especially our neighbor Tanzania, sending away our own maize. At Mutukula we had people striking because our maize had been banned from that side. So, in your opinion, what should have been done on top of this storage system?
Well, I think, like I've heard from other countries, I'm not a great business person, but I will just say what I think. The government usually has measures to store. I think they call them silos. What's that name? Where if there's too much, it is kept somewhere to keep the prices level. So they keep it, when it's too much, they'll store it. When it is too little, they'll release it into the market so that the prices are stable to help the farmers stay afloat.
Yes.
and not to waste food. Because honestly, a lot of maize just rotted in the houses. I've seen little farmers saying, I'm not going to sell it for 200. They keep it, gets eaten up by... So there needs to be a safety net of sorts. And then the farmer is so broke that he even sells for nothing. So if there was an agricultural fund or something where a farmer can run to whenever things are not going great to balance their books, there has to be, because I hear in the US they have concessions for this, concessions for that to the farmers because they need food and we need food as well. So if we don't take care of the farmers' economics, then we're not doing great.
Well, interesting.
That's my simplistic assessment.
And I get it, because at some point as you were explaining, I quickly got an idea. Well, not that it's from the blue. I've seen others do it. The government perhaps could have bought from the farmers at a favorable price, stored it in granaries. We can even go back to the local methods of storing maize.
That might not quite work. There's too much theft. It's difficult to do it in the villages, but it has to be a concerted effort by organizations or through the government.
The local methods of storing some of these products by government may not work, and you are giving some of the reasons.
I mean, there's a lot of theft, so the granaries is not a solution anymore. You keep your food in the granary, a local you won't find it, because there's a lot of poverty in the communities. A lot of people are poor because, one, they don't know what to do. There's lack of guidance on, guys, you can actually make 1, 2 to make 4. There's that general lack among the youth, among the women, everybody. There's a level of inertia which I don't quite get. And sometimes it requires a concerted effort from leaders to say, guys, if you don't work, you don't eat. Even the Bible says so. So a lot of people don't have food, and they will steal from those granaries. So government creating subsidies for farmers and creating storage facilities where if there's a bumper harvest, they store. They're the safeguard for the farmer, one way or the other. If crops fail, there should be an insurance for a farmer to know that I can actually go and get money from such and such an organization to redo my farm, or to reorganize. I mean, even the best countries in the world do this. We need this more than anyone else, because the farmers are illiterate. They have even the local ways of farming of long time ago, which used to work, because we used to have food without chemicals, without tractors. My grandfather was a peasant farmer, but when I used to go to his house, it would be full granite, cotton, maize. I remember rolling on those. It was so fun for us because we were coming from the town. So people they were able to get food. Now the weather patterns have changed so much that the farmer is in dismay. He can't irrigate. He has no capacity. And I'm sorry, if you tell me you get an acre with bottles, mineral water bottles, I think you remember that.
Yes.
Who does that? All this money going to NADS, let's put it together and say we are putting an irrigation scheme here. Because NADS has failed. I think it has failed. I'm not a farmer, but I know that. But we know that billions of shillings have gone into NADS.
Yes.
But where is the results? So our planning needs a lot of restructuring.
Yes, indeed. Well, ma'am, finally, as you've said, we will soon see another bumper harvest, especially given the projection for this year still is we will perhaps have favorable rains, and as a result, we could have another bumper harvest.
When?
We could, especially at the beginning, in the first quarter of the year. In the first quarter of the year.
First quarter, yeah.
Yes, in the first quarter of the year. Because as you notice, the weather is still singing to the farmers' tune, you know. At around this time, normally it is dry. Yes, January is normally dry.
Exactly. It's normally dry. Now it's raining at a point when people don't have gardens ready.
Exactly.
So, what bumper harvest?
So now if you bring in that, perhaps you're right. It may not be there.
It may not be Yeah, it might come rain for 2 weeks and then gone. So what happens? People will plant, everything dries out. So there is no surety on what is possible. The rainmakers or whatever you call them, meteorologists,
Yes.
have no clue what they're doing. Because it's raining now. Why? Why didn't we know last December that there's likely to be rain in January? Somebody's not reading the maps right. I have no clue how they do it, but here we are. We had a big storm. But how sustainable is that? The poor farmer this morning will be in the garden digging miles and miles of land. But will there be rain tomorrow? Probably not.
We don't know.
And then the little seed they have kept for the real season, they put it in the ground, gone. Now who helps them to get the real seed when the April rains come? We are not sure. Our patterns are totally off the radar. So there has to be, if it doesn't rain, I can water my garden. If it rains, hallelujah, I save what is in the whatever they call them, the reservoirs.
Yes.
There has to be a real plan because this is an agriculture country.
Yes.
If that breaks down completely, and I must say, I complain all the time, it's the backbone of this economy, but not much goes into it in terms of planning, in terms of resources. In this day, if somebody is using a hand hoe, everyone does 2x4 gardens. What is that? There's some places you can go to. I was in Tungamo over the New Year, and I could see banana plantations as far as my eye could go. That looks like planning. But you come to Bugweri and see for yourself, little 2x4, it's a garden of potatoes, 1x6 maize. That's not sustainable.
No.
It can't feed the family, it can't do business. So then it just becomes a cycle of poverty. So something needs to be done.
Something needs to be done. Interesting. So finally, like you said, you have a teacher training college, and I would therefore, would I be right if I call you an entrepreneur?
Yes, I belong to a family
Yes.
of entrepreneurs. Yes.
Yes, indeed. So as an entrepreneur, and of course, especially as a woman entrepreneur, what advice do you have for our entrepreneurs this year, and especially the ladies?
Patience, perseverance. Nothing comes easy. Because what I've realized is a lot of people want to do something, and in 2 days, they say it's too hard. In 2 months, I'm giving up. By 6 months, I have a typical leka, you know. So nothing comes easy. And then getting into a business which you understand. If I say, oh my goodness, there's a TV there, I want to do a TV. Do you even know how to set up a TV station? You can't. But you find people getting into businesses which have no clue, no plan. So, one, planning, and making sure that I want to do this. Do I know how it works? Information. Understand what you're trying to do. If you have no skills for it, go and get some. If you can't get information and skills, do something you know. Do something you like. Because when you do something you like, it's easier for you to do. Because even when it fails, you're passionate about that. And then, of course, continue with hard work, and the rest will probably come true.
Well, interesting, ma'am. Thank you so much. And finally, our viewers believe this is TV that is typically committed to business, and like I've told you, it is strictly business, finance, economics. We want to bring back people like you on a television set. I understand you bought TV, but you may even have children as the biggest beneficiaries to this TV. You may never have time to watch it unless you're looking for news. Now, this is 24-hour programming on our site, 24/7 business. So as we close off, what is your view about such an innovation?
Now, I'll give you an example. When I was doing my bachelor teacher education, my lecturer gave me a passage. They told me, I want you to rewrite that passage for a P1 child, for a senior one, for a university, and a passage to address a room of doctors or whatever. So write it in those different ways. What I got from that is that however hard you try, if you try to give a P1 child P7 work, you're telling a fish to climb a tree. So you need to meet people somewhere, halfway, not to lose them. Because when it's too beyond their level of understanding, they'll shut you down.
Yes.
So meet them halfway. That's my
Amazing.
That's
Thank
my
you
little one penny thought.
Yes, indeed. Amazing.
Because right now, actually, I'm the flag bearer for Bugweri district.
Oh, really?
I went into politics. That's one other reason why I'm lost. So I'm going into politics. I probably will be woman MP as soon as we do the voting.
Hopefully.
In the 7 new districts.
Oh, wow. Hopefully. And I do hope you have some nice economics and business ideas to bring on board.
I do. Very simplistic. But we're in a community of people who haven't gone to school. Everything needs to be as simplistic as possible to get across. So I hope I will make sense.
So, sorry, how do you balance politics and business?
You have to have people you can leave in the office when you're not there. As they always say, the office does not move. You have to have enough confidence in the people you leave in the office to do what you can do when you're away. And that, by the way, has killed many organizations because they rotate around one person. When that one person is not there, everything fails. If you don't have a team of people who, if they make decisions and make mistakes, they'll have learned from them. But you give them the confidence to say, even if I'm not here, you're running. I've been campaigning for 2 years. I'm rarely at the school. The school is running fine. So I don't know if this being a good manager.
Yes, well, at least delegation is management anyway.
Delegation is management.
Yes, indeed.
We fail because we make one person the all and everything. That's wrong. And then when we suddenly die, businesses collapse because no one else knew even the
tricks
bank
of the
accounts.
business.
No one knows the tricks of the business. No one knows who the clients were.
Are.
No one, so that. And it's common in Uganda, I think. A lot of people feel threatened when they have good people around them. Instead of thanking God, oh my God, I've got this team of people who, even if I'm not here, the business is moving. They tend to feel, you want to take over from me? You want to steal from me? And yet they have all the systems in place which they can use to protect the business from being stolen or from being compromised, So there needs to be all those checks and balances to help the thing run, even if you're not present. So I'm a singer. I sing every weekend.
Okay.
I go into politics. I'll be politicking all day. I'll drop in school to check how things are going. If they're fine, I don't ask or do much. I go away and let them do what they can do best. So where do I find the time? Allocate time. You divide your calendar according to what you must do. And balance it out.
Wow.
As they say, balance
the boat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. We wish you a very fruitful and deliberate 2019.
Thank you very much. And I pray that what you're doing with this TV, I think is what we need in media.
Yes.
Something alternative to, I can't watch TV. Because what is there to see? DJs dancing in videos. What is the video for? I see that all the time on several TV stations where a video of music is playing and the presenter is in the middle of the video being the act. Excuse me, what's that? So, media people.
Obangeyo, Obangaina, Obangeyo, Obangaina, Obangeyo, Obangaina, Obangeyo.
obanga ina.
Mubange yo.
Yes.
How old were you?
I don't remember.
Did you dance?
Oh
to
yes.
this song? How old
Oh
were you?
yes. In fact, even to date, when you play obanga ina, I don't know how to dance. The reality is,
take me back. How old were you?
I don't remember.
Were you even or you were these kids that used to wear only a t-shirt? Because by that time, they used to, if you're good, you will either receive a shot, but because you will go in the playground. So whether you play obanga and you remove your shirt and you like, because you want, when you're dancing, your stomach, everyone to see that you're testing your waist.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
But that
indeed.
was a nice song.
Yes.
I wish they can play it now and I dance for you, but.
Well, I'm afraid to ask for it because me, I don't know how to dance. You don't want to see drama on the stage, on the set rather.
Drama is that?
Well, you know, for me, because I don't know how to dance, when music plays, nefu nkula, I use a lot of energy. Something like that. But of course, welcome back from that. That was our segment with Rachel Magola, who I must say has enlightened our minds on the economy, but from a less calculated angle. By calculated, I mean we have a lot of statistics being thrown at people's faces. The economy is growing, Smanya 3.7, 3.1, GDP 2 point something, the economic growth rate is 2.1. I mean, all that is statistical wahala if you cannot trickle it down to a layman's understanding. But my interaction with her was amazing because as a teacher, she tried her best to explain it to someone who will not understand statistics of GDP, economic growth, and whatever others normally say.
Well, the key points in this, one thing that I understood, he was speaking to every farmer. From up there to down. I will concentrate on the on subsistence farmers. She made it clear, Rachel made it clear and was like, as long as we are producing for home consumption, we are not going anywhere. Because if you're producing for consumption, it means that by the time you know it, you have no food yourself. Probably you're going to buy it from someone else. It means you're not doing more research. We tend to think that people who produce, actually that's what I think most people, and I'll try to research and find out. Because most people that are in subsistence farming, they don't research. They don't want to know more. I found out that my grandpa used to plant like this. This is the garden we used to use, and this is how we do it. Every May we do this. And this is how we harvest, and after harvesting, we take, you get the whole point. They don't want to find out how are other farmers working it out.
Now, personally, I would be very cautious before saying most people don't want to research, because the reality is...
No, I said I will find
No,
out.
personally. Personally, I
yes,
would be
please.
cautious before mentioning such a statement, because I feel the ignorance of the people, yes, much as there are those who don't actually want to know, some want to know, but the knowledge facilities are not in place. When money is invested for agriculturalists here in Uganda, when the budget comes out, they tell you know what, we are putting, let's say 10% of the budget will go to supporting agriculture. And there is this common statement that they make, and everyone makes it, including ourselves, that agriculture is the backbone of the economy. But yet the priority being given in it, to it in the budget is limited. Now the limitations are in poorly planned programs.
No,
She points out issues like NADS, where you find billions of Ugandan shillings being invested in a project, and people don't even know how to benefit from things like NADS. They are not well informed. They are not mobilized. At the end of the day, they will throw seeds to them. They will grow them, but they don't know where to put the products. They don't have a market for them.
Maybe that's another key point. But my point was, because we have the business insight here. Tush and Jackie wake up every morning. Tush goes to Igang and hosts people, the same people. And you are not watching the TV to find out. There are so many newspapers that usually they interview so many people, so many farmers. We've seen conferences, we've seen workshops, but you have not gotten yourself involved because
Are those
you're waiting.
things available to the farmer in Para? Are they available to the farmer?
You mean newspapers don't reach there, or the TVs don't
But
reach there?
that's what I'm saying.
That's why I was talking about research. You as an individual, a farmer, how much have you invested to know more than what your grandfather left for you? Living alone, before we come to NADS, how much have you invested in? You know, it's not a blame shift game here where you're going to wake up in the morning and expect NADS to knock on your door. You need to be informed. You need to watch. You need to watch TVs that because we have programs that are related. Yes, I've seen several programs. Almost like each channel has a program about agriculture. Probably you might learn something. I've seen newspapers where we have farmers being interviewed and they tell us how they've made it. So before we get to NADS, before we get to government, you as a farmer, have you tried to know more?
Well, that is your take on that. Of course, let's of course move forward with other points that she pointed out. One, she called it farmer economics, and I thought that was a term that I could try and craft one way or the other.
Okay.
But then she said people are poor because they are ignorant. The same thing you're pointing out. But again, we are saying that since farming is said, agriculture, not necessarily farming, but agriculture is said to be the backbone, a lot much more effort needs to be put. Effort in availing the information, effort in imploring the public to actually make proper use of the information, effort in disseminating the information for the most lay person to actually understand it.
How would you like this information to be passed?
If you quickly rush into making research based on economies where they have a lot of technology and you bring it back to an economy where people still use a hoe to do digging for an acre of land, then perhaps the two won't be related. In fact, as a teacher, she did give this illustration that when she was being trained, her supervisor told her, you know what? She gave her a news piece and told her to, she gave her a story and told her to translate the same story for different levels. Nursery kids, translate it for primary kids, translate it for secondary school and university, and then beyond to those who have PhDs. And she says by the time she finished that exercise, which was not easy as far as she says, by the time she finished the exercise, she had actually learned to disseminate information to all different people of different groups. So the challenge that I see happening is, yes, the research is done, the information is in the papers, we are even talking about the information right now, which someone, if they are watching, they could learn something. But the way we deliver it is at times one-sided. We focus on people who are at our level of critical thinking, and we forget that there are those who actually will not be able to understand it. Her advice is we need to at some point meet people at where they are. You get it?
One-on-one, and try to explain something so that they crystal clearly understand.
Exactly. We need to meet our understandings. If I have a PhD here to explain to farmers what to do, he should remember that among the viewers, there is a farmer who has never even held a pen. There are people who fear pens and papers because they will expose their illiteracy.
There is even a new farmer who is just trying this field and doesn't know those terms that are used in agriculture.
Indeed. So, one, we need the technology. We need the research being done, especially in as far as, for example, if I've seen there are some groups that go to the smart Netherlands to do farmers tours and whatever. And I'm saying, the Netherlands is at a certain level of technological development. They engage technology in all their farming activities, or if not majority of their farming activities. The environment that they have enables proper farming within those conditions. Now come to Uganda. What kind of technology do we have on our farms? The hoe that my grandmother used is the same hoe that we are using to farm. In fact, Professor Walunyo makes it more interesting. He says, when I was young, about 60 years ago, the hoe that my grandmother used, his grandmother is now about 67. The hoe that his grandmother used is the same hoe that 67 years later is being used by people today in the farms.
That's very true. I think what we need is to to adjust. To
Yes.
adjust, and also the people that go and do research and come and then tell us how to do these things. I've seen people go to Israel, the same for Netherlands. But either way, we will have to explain to people what they have to do and how to do it and for how long do they have to do it. Well, this is the Smart 24 TV, and here with me is Ronald Tush Kamwea. My name is Jacqueline Arinda. Let's go for a break and we'll be back.
kuli nang'andawo ku Mwafu Stage, jangu tukufunira omulimu emitala w'amayanja obwa security guard, drivers, cleaners, waiters and waitresses. Ate mmwe bamaidi ebyammwe byateredde dda, ne bw'oba olina passport oba tolina, jangu nga bw'oli gwatwetaaze kuba ku simu zino wammanga. Noti 7 nkaka mu 8 19 noti emu oba noti 783 14 55 noti 6. Moto yaffe egamba nti your job is our pride.
Back, this is Smart 24, and my name is Jacqueline Arinda. Back to Business Insights with Ronald Tush Kamwea, and Ronald, yes, managed to talk to Rachel, and Rachel was telling us how you can be a better farmer, guiding us a bit so that, you know, inside someone at least shows you what she thinks is best.
Actually, Rachel was giving us insights into farmer economics in Uganda for 2019. Now, one thing that we may need to talk about before we go off air, and I feel this is something that has been an oversight in Uganda's way of doing business for a long time. We tend to rely a lot on gifts of nature, and we forget that what makes most economies out there better than us is they have alternative ways of getting informed. I'll give you an example.
Plan B.
Yes, they have a plan B. I'll give you an example. Under normal circumstances, this month is meant to be dry. We've seen it a dry month, and normally farmers plan to prepare their land for rains in maybe March or something like that, but not in Jan anyway. However, this year alone, at the beginning of the year, it's been raining, and farmers hadn't yet prepared their gardens. You know, the Uganda Meteorological Center, or whether that's the name, they should be able to do something about this. You get it?
Yeah, I actually heard her saying that which role are they playing? Everyone has to play a role, their own role, so that for the economy to work out.
Yes, indeed. There should be early warning signs that trickle down to even farmers, users of different units. I want to think that for things like boats capsizing on the water, that meteorological unit should be able to foresee the weather patterns, the weather forecasts, and say, you know what, for those who are planning to sail on Lake Victoria, it is risky around these areas because there are strong winds. Here we have rough winds, or something like that, whatever the terms they use. Now, Rachel's message in this was, one, there was a bumper harvest last year, and at some point we saw a lot of produce rotting in stores. Why? There was poor planning. Yes, they planted, they harvested, but where were they to sell this? Whenever there is a lot of supply on the market, the prices go low. Maize went for as low as 150, 200 shillings, from about 600 shillings a kilo of maize. You get it? So if there was proper planning and the foresight of what could happen in the near future, one, the government could have kept aside some monies to actually buy from the farmers at a favorable cost. Instead of a farmer going to sell his maize to someone taking advantage of them at 200 shillings, they could have maybe sold it to government at relatively maybe 400.
Yeah, but when I take you back to technology also, how can they rot when the government has also prepared? You know, I don't.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Why would it rot, and why isn't the government getting the market?
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So, where was I? I was saying, one, buy the maize as the government plans. Buy the maize, okay? At a relatively higher cost from the farmer than him having to sell it to someone who will take advantage of the low prices, okay? Buy the maize at a relatively low cost. Then have storage facilities prepared. She clearly explained this, okay? Personally, I have suggested granaries, but she's saying there are better methods, and I agree with her. with technology and everything, like you said, there are better methods that can allow
Of
for proper
preserving,
storage and
yes.
preservation of some of these commodities, okay? Then two, one, you're already providing the market. Two, you are creating a case of food security for a rainy day. You get it? There are those days that are going to come when people are crying of hunger and perhaps it could be too much drought that there is no food. This that would have been stored.
That's what hit Isinjilo. If you recall very well, Isinjilo was hit by famine and the government had to take their food. But the question is, had they known before that such a thing was coming to them? Like you said, that we need a weather forecast that we can rely on, not just for the case of news, not just for the case of I don't know, but we need the forecast.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So that was mostly her take. Of course, throughout the day, not throughout.
Actually, one thing that I should also highlight about is when she said that you need to take one thing per day. A farmer cannot come in now. By the time, actually, she stated it that you, after 1 month, you want to leave. You're complaining. 6 months down the road, you're like, I can't do this, and within 1 year, you've left that industry and you're in another field. She said you have to take it per day. Learn, and that's the case here. If you have your first, let's say your first year in farming, you need to find out why didn't it work out. What can I do to make it better? But there is Tush who has been in this industry and has not moved out. Is he facing the same problems? So that's a key. He was saying actually to the young people here, if you venture into any business, you should not be patient. Let it grow. Let it grow. And for anything to grow, it means that you yourself, you have to be able to wait. Patience pays. So the same case applies to farmers. Sometimes farmers are not patient. You plant something and it doesn't work out. You're like, probably, mukono mobi. You get the whole point? People are like, maybe I can't do this. I can't do farming because farming needs time. Farming needs your time. It's not that you're going to farm on remote. You're like, hello, Tush, did you take water there? Did you do this? Did you do this? It's not all about, like, let's look at actually the animal industry itself. If you have a farm, you need to supervise, you need to be there. Leave alone farming, now the other side, also this side, you need to be there. If a cow has been milking, let's say 10 liters, and now it is slowing down to 1 liter, are you patient with it? That's the case. I think that's what I was getting, that has motivated me this morning, being patient.
Indeed, indeed. Amazing. Of course, that's Rachel Magola, the advisor. Of course, I do already see policymakers picking something from this. Today, Rachel Magola has advised government on farming for 2019. So throughout the day, for those who are watching us, you will be able to capture this interview once or twice more because there is a lot for you to learn, and I'm very sure we cannot exhaust it in this one show. So stay tuned. You will get to hear more of what she had to say on the same issue as we proceed in the day. As we prepare for our Smart Forum today, let's take a short break. We'll be right back. You are still watching the Smart Rise Show here on Smart 24 TV, and it's me, Ronald Tush Kamweya, with the entire gang. Now, yesterday we had a bit of preamble on the real estate industry in Uganda, and we were more than humbled to have a senior lecturer from Makerere University Business School in the Department of Finance. Yes, you mentioned the other name better because I've noticed I've just been making a mispronunciation. And he shared with us a bit of a preamble on real estate and, of course, understanding what it is and the different opportunities that are there. I know for the first time he could have had words like condominiums, satellite cities, things like that, real estate. Perhaps it was your first time. Now, today, we are really humbled to have Mr. Bernard back on the show. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And in this segment, I know you're going to talk about some of the challenges in the real estate industry.
Yeah, true.
All right. First of all, why did you pick this topic today?
I just chose it because wherever there are opportunities, there must be challenges that come in. Because these challenges can be both internally and then externally. Because they can be within the means of the firm or the business or real estate firm, or it can be within the outside environment. Since the real estate environment, you don't operate in a vacuum. You expect to operate in an environment that is mad with opportunities and then the challenges itself.
Yes. Now, if you don't mind, I request that if you may, give us a brief recap of yesterday's.
Yesterday we looked at, first of all, understanding what real estate is, because people looked at real estate in a narrow mindset. People thought real estate, like earlier on I mentioned yesterday, that people thought real estate is just the buildings, and then the agency even testified that real estate, you thought real estate was
an organized building, like you see Bugolobi
an estate.
Yes.
So an estate is just a component of real estate. So we looked at real estate in so many aspects, as a tangible property, as a bundle of rights, or the interest that you have in a piece of land. And then also we looked at real estate in terms of the professions that we talked about. And we here highlighted a few opportunities, ranging from the consultancy that you can have to valuations or surveys that you expect to have, property management, to mention but a few. So those are the aspects that are new. We concluded that we said, for you to specifically, critically invest in real estate, there's need for you to critically understand the market by doing a feasibility study.
Wow.
So I think that is where we were.
Yes.
So it's from that it triggers this aspect of the challenges.
The challenges, yes. Because I would imagine as you're doing the feasibility study, your aim is to understand how the market itself is performing before you enter it. And you're going to look at the different strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and perhaps threats. You're going to look at it from all sorts of critical analysis angles.
Yes.
Now, it brings us now to the issue of challenges, as you've mentioned. What are some of the challenges that any person wishing to join, leave alone those that are faced by the industry itself? But let's start with the person who wishes to join the industry. What are some of the challenges they will face?
I would say there's quite many, but to start with, the most important thing is when you conceive an idea of starting up a business, the first thing you think of is, where am I going to get the funds from? That is a source of financing that you're going to use. Do you have the capital with you?
Yes.
Or are you going to think of a financial institution? So one challenge comes there. We have challenges with funding. Not only the challenge of funding, but also the costs that come with funding. Because you may have abundant funding, but if the costs are high, like you go to a bank, the cost of a debt is an interest. So what is the interest? So you can see that we are not having, because we don't have a streamlined, because we have financial institutions that are ready to help. But they're ready to help with a very high what? Interest rates. So that is why people are crying out, because you're getting a loan of 100 million, you end up paying this loan in the next 1 year, maybe in the next, not 1 year, in the next maybe 15 or 10 years, you find that because of the value of that money, interest rates keeps on rising. Because we've never had a deflation in Uganda. We're having always inflation. Persistent prices of commodities that are coming in.
Increasing.
So it affects the interest rates directly. So interest rates, the bank's always the biggest investment for a bank is a loan. So now most of the real estate projects you see here are financed by using debt or borrowings, which seems to be cheaper in the context of it being a
source of
deductible
finance.
expenditure,
Yes.
yes. But still it affects the businesses a lot. Individually, it affects most people. People would have the idea, people have very brilliant ideas. But the challenge is that the source of funding that comes with these aspects, the interest or the costs that come with financing these projects is also a problem. And leave alone that, also the cost of material, raw material used, because most of these things are imported. If you want to have a classy real estate project, you must import some of these things. The iron bars are being imported, and these things are bought in dollars. Not Ugandan shillings.
Yes.
The currencies where the standard one is using a dollar.
It's a dollar.
That
yes.
is why when you see most times the tenants complain that why are landlords charging us
Expensively.
not expensively, but using dollars, because that is what they want. Because
yes.
because they want to reap the returns, because the cost of financing a project is very high. What is the implication? So it implies that you need to what? Also tag that same amount or that currency that you used for purchasing these raw materials, because you know we have weaknesses in the currency. We have Ugandan currency compared to the US dollar, or compared to any other currency that you have in East Africa. So that is a very big challenge also. Individually, the cost of these raw materials that we use for coming up with these projects. And another individual challenge that we're facing as the real estate sector, or as an individual that when you look
that
at
wants to join
real estate, the knowledge that we have, we don't understand the market very well. Like majority of the people, thank God that God brought me here yesterday. People now understood what real estate was.
I personally, I had
But
a
now,
much more clear picture of real estate.
So look at a layman. At least maybe he must have had a background, but if you look at a layman who has never heard about real estate, only thinks about real estate in terms of the estates and what. So this person wants to venture, has the money, but wants to venture, does not know how the market operates, does not know the current trends. So there are so many things that come with this. So those, among all those individuals' challenges, those are some of the specific aspects that we can look at.
Wow.
If it is polished, then the industry can be pedaled forward.
Well,
Yes.
I particularly asked that question because I know we have a number of students doing real estate in Makerere University Business School
Yes.
itself. I know real estate is offered as a program
course, yes.
of its own. And at the end of the day, I see them getting engaged in exhibitions, showing little
Yes.
houses. And, but in my mind, I keep wondering, will these people be able to sprout and have the full benefits of the real estate sector should they move out of university? So thank you for highlighting that. Now, back to the issue. What are these challenges now for the industry in general here in Uganda?
Yeah, the industry, amidst the individual challenges, the industry also is marred with a lot of challenges.
Yes.
So one of the aspects that come with it is because now we're looking at not individually, because you see we have what we call institutional investors. Most of these companies, in terms of partnerships, in terms of aspects like maybe you have a corporation. Like an example I would give is you have a REIT or real estate investment trusts that you understood, a collective investment that you have. But you want this project to be financed. But the challenge is, what aspects do you look at? Specific things that you look at when it comes to financing this project. Financing does not only help come with an individual, it comes with what? Also the companies themselves. Because most of these companies you want to put like, let me give an example. Maybe Palm Marina Estates. You're seeing they're having around 300 acres of land that is supposed to be developed. So where did you think that they got this funding from? Maybe there must be a partnership. So the challenge we face as an industry is that most people don't want to have partnerships because these projects, for you to have a massive project, you must have these partnerships. Because it is through these partnerships that you can have the sources of funding or financing. And another challenge we'll talk about maybe...
I'm sorry, but before you go to the next one, you're mentioning issues of partnerships, and my mind, I'm thinking, one, by the time they choose to go into the industry, they know it is profitable, not so?
Yes.
And like you have said, partnerships are necessary. So why don't they go in for the partnerships? What causes this this distance between the different stakeholders within the industry?
You know, the challenge is also trust. Because you know, there's that like I always tell you, that animal that comes with corruption. So people don't trust each other because you enter into a partnership 2-3 years down the road, you're reaping well in this project. Someone says, I was the one who contributed to that, I want to withdraw my money and invest somewhere else. Because you want to mitigate the risks.
Yes.
Because for you to mitigate the risks, you must diversify.
Yes, indeed.
You should not always, like I said, you should not always put your eggs in what?
One
basket. You should be able to be thinking of which other projects can I invest in. Yeah, so those are some of the challenges when it comes to partnerships. People don't trust themselves.
Wow.
The trust is a very big issue, like specifically Ugandans. You find the way we operate, there's what we call individualism that comes in. People tend to be for themselves as opposed to being for the common goal that the group or partnership is expected to achieve.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Wow, thank you for highlighting that. Now, if you could go to the next challenge.
And the next challenge I will talk about maybe things like access to land has been a very big challenge because the cost of land has been escalating over time.
Yes.
As we all know that the value for land appreciates. You buy a piece of land today at 10, let's assume at 10 million, even overnight, it can go to 15 million.
To 15 million.
But you don't know the procedure in which people arrive at increasing these prices. It is just sometimes sentimental in nature. Someone wakes up one morning, thinks that the value of my property has appreciated. So I mean the costs go high. When you look at the outskirts of Kampala, that is where people are going because of the sprawling aspects, because people don't want to stay within the city because there's a lot of, if I can say, katogo in the city, a lot of mix. You don't have peace of mind. You work in the city, but you want to live outside. You want to be a commuter. Yes.
Yes, to avoid the congestion that is within the city.
So now people have realized, developers have realized that, meaning they have potential, real estate or developments have potentials outside the city center. So you find that when they're spreading, the spreading comes with the costs. Because someone goes in Kira, maybe acquires maybe 300 or 500 acres, subdivides, starts selling it, gets title for it. The mere fact that you service a piece of land, it becomes very expensive. How do I mean by saying servicing a piece of land? First of all, you must subdivide it. If it is a plain land like this, you need to subdivide. Get a title for it, or you need to do surveys on it. Get a title. Make sure that it has access to water. Make sure that it has access to electricity. Make sure that the road network that leads to the infrastructure specifically that leads to the estate is perfect, such that the value can be what? Because you, as a person who has purchased this big chunk of land, is that you want return on an investment. You can't buy a piece of land at 5 million and sell it at 5 million. You must get that capital gain.
Yes, you have to get that.
Yes, sometimes what they do is they over-exaggerate because they know people are sure that because there are some prime areas that if you mention like this, they just know that it's a no-go area for someone who is a low-income earner or someone a middle-income status person. So cost of land or cost of access to land is another challenge that is facing the industry. So moving away from the cost of land, when you look at the agents, yes.
I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you short there. Now, speaking of cost of land, and of course, along the way in your explanation, you did mention that this land appreciates, even it can appreciate overnight. And I'm thinking, very many people rush into real estate, in the layman's understanding of real estate, in the sense that I will buy land, and any minute it can multiply the amount. Salary earner who gets his first 1 million or 2 million quickly goes to the villages deep down there where you can still get some land at 2 million or 3 or 4 or 5. And they hope that with some time it will appreciate, but within a small time. Now, I wish to know from you as a consultant, is there some system that is used to know the value of land? Is there a legal method in which you can compute and say overnight the land appreciated by, let us say, 5% or 2%? Is there a rate? Is there a method? Is there a formula?
No, in Uganda, like I said, one of the challenges that I would mention later on would be maybe there's no much regulation about this. Though the ministry is there, they're streamlining, because recently I think it was closed. There was a time when the Ministry of Land was closed. They wanted to go digital as opposed to this paperwork. So meaning that every piece of land they are going to mark the demarcations. They are going to demarcations on digitizing.
Okay.
Yes. So now one challenge would be is that when you see these aspects, these things that we talk about, like what is the procedure for coming up with these values? It is in the minds of the people.
And in well-regulated areas,
It is-
like let us say Rwanda, what is the procedure? Is there a
In,
system?
in Rwanda, there's what we call a price index. So in Rwanda, maybe they would allocate, they would say, if, like I told you earlier on, there's what we call zoning.
Yes.
So they zone an area, they say this is specifically a residential.
For
A
residents.
residential. This is a commercial where you have your offices, you have your retail, you have your maybe these other activities, commercial activities that you
yes,
do.
yes.
And then this is the industrial, this is maybe open space that is meant to be for maybe other recreational activities and what. But now in Rwanda, basically what they do is they zone this, and then there's what we call a price index. They would assume this is an area. Let's take 3 areas. Naguru, and then we'll talk about, let's go far in Kira, and then we'll look at Muyenga. So they would say all the pieces of land in Muyenga must go at this. There must be a specific thing they determine. So there is what we call a price index. Each and every area has a different index. So they would say price index maybe for Wakiso is this amount of money. So meaning that any dealing that is there should not exceed, does not go a certain amount of money, given the conditions that come there, because there are certain conditions. Some areas, that is why some areas are called prime
Areas.
Yes, prime areas. Those that are non-prime, because they command low price. Those that are prime, they command higher prices. So there is, specifically in Uganda, that is lacking, because that regulation, that long arm of the government is lacking to enforce. Their policies are there in place. When you go to Ministry of Land, they will tell you, this is the index, this is what is happening. But now on the ground, nothing is happening.
Different.
So that is a very big challenge. If us were not taking the initiative as the authorities or the urban authorities, or even not even urban, rural authorities, they're not saying that this is a specific price that we have for this piece of land, how shall we develop? I think it becomes a nightmare for us to develop. So we need to implement those strategies that we put forth. We say that this is a specific index, the price does not exceed a certain amount of money, it should stop there. Yes. So by the one thing I've loved with Rwanda is that Kagame is very strict.
Yes.
He takes the law into his hands. Yes. He makes sure, even now, not only Kagame, but now the people themselves have that mindset. They now own the development, because participation is key when it comes to development. So they own the developments, now said it's a specific development, it's going to benefit us all.
I think we have some images of the Rwanda, the estate in Rwanda. It must be there. So as you're mentioning, Kagame is being strict, and of course, I would imagine, even as you said, that he takes the law in his own hands, it is for the good of the people. So I like the fact that you're putting emphasis on regulation. Last year, one of the things that were clearly highlighted by Mr. Ramadan Gobi, in his analysis of the Ugandan economy, he did say that much as it is a free market economy, where people are free to buy what they want, sell what they want, start any business as they want,
construct any house you want,
any house you want, the regulation by government is still lacking, and it is still limited. Of course, I know you will shed more light on it as you're explaining it as a challenge. What is the next challenge you wanted to give us?
The next challenge would be related to the infrastructure, because now, like I said, land itself, real estate itself is land, and anything permanently what? Affixed on it.
Yes.
So infrastructure is part of it.
Okay.
So now the way we provide infrastructure as an institution or as a government is that most of these estates, now you see some countries, the policy they have is that if you have close to or more than 100 units in a specific area, the government takes the initiative to provide the basic infrastructure, like roads, networks, electricity that has been provided. So the government is the one that takes the initiative. But for the case of Uganda, you may even find 500 units, but the responsibility lies in your own hands. So meaning if you want to put roads, and sometimes they even frustrate you and make it very hard for you to
the
put
procedures.
roads. The procedures are very...
Well, of course, I would like you to shed more light on it. However, for now, let's take this short break. We'll be right back. We are still looking at the challenges in the real estate industry. Chikukwatako, chinkwatako, of course, nalyeyo, chimukwatako. Tovao. so much. Welcome back from that break. And of course, here on Smart 24 TV, the first and only business channel in Uganda. We commit to giving the most relevant and the most timely information. Speaking of timely information, we are handling the challenges in the real estate sector, and I am still with my guest, the lecturer at Makerere University Business School Finance Department, Mr. Bernard Alurile. Yes, finally I've said it well. Yes. Now, Bernard, before we went in for our break, you were still explaining the issue of how infrastructure is a challenge in the Ugandan real estate industry.
Like earlier on I mentioned, I said that there are projects, when you see, I gave an example. There are some projects in other countries where you see when government wants, because it acts as like a subsidy, or sometimes we call it as an incentive. It gives motivation for people to invest more. So now what they do is that when you have close to 100 to 300 units, the government is the one that provides for you the necessary related infrastructure that comes with it. Things like the roads, things like the electricity, water, drainage system, everything it is being provided. But for the case of Uganda, it is you who accesses all this using your own money. Even if you're putting 1,000 units, even if you're putting 1,200 units, it's you. The initiative is to you. And sometimes they're frustrated by making it very hard for you to provide, because the regulations, what you go through, the procedures that, because even in Uganda it is very expensive for you to construct a kilometer
of a road. Yes.
It takes close to $1 million US. Yes, that is close. That is now, when you look at the rates, that's close to 3-point-something billion.
Yes.
Just to construct a kilometer of a road. Because the reason why it is expensive is not because that the materials are expensive, but for you to convince people the method of compensation, people are rigid to surrender land for this infrastructure, because they know it is something that is necessary for the developments. But for them to be compensated, rates of compensation are very high. And there are no specific amounts that are given. Say this is an area, if maybe your area is affected, there is a need for a road to pass here. There is no specific amount of money that is charged.
So any
person who says this, but of course government has its value, as the chief government value has his team that says that this is the value that we expect for this piece of land. We're going to use, if it is a 50 by 100, we're going to use a specific or a streamlined amount of money or a streamlined system to get this. Sometimes you find there are inconsistencies that come with compensating people. That makes it very expensive. Like I said, infrastructure one itself, that is something, they have a positive relationship between real estate and infrastructure. So with a poor infrastructure, no one will want. Let me give you this example. There was a deal I had. I was taking someone to see a property. This brokerage and agency.
Yes.
Showing someone a property. The first thing they look at is, how is the road network? So you're taking someone, the road network is here, the car bumper is hitting here. So it affects that a lot. So infrastructure has a positive relationship that exists between it and the real estate. So if it is being affected, then it implies that the industry is being broken. So roads, electricity, those are services, that infrastructure-related services are still key issues that are affecting the real estate industry itself, or the sector itself. So would also bring another challenge. The biggest challenge that we talk about here maybe are the taxes.
Okay.
There are very high taxes that are being charged on both individual and corporate, basically individual and corporate taxes. So let me bring this to your attention. 4 years ago, the state minister passed, the Minister for Lands, Urban and Housing Development. There was a development that came in and said that for every transaction of land that buyer, there's what we call the stamp duty. Initially, it was 1% of the value of the land, which is supposed to be paid by the person who is buying the piece of land. But now it is 1.5. Yes, 1.5%.
So meaning if I was transferring land of 10 million to you,
yes,
and I have to, the stamp duty on that land title that I'm giving you would be
1.5% of the value of that land, 10 million. So meaning that must go to the government, the chief government value. So not only this, there are other taxes that come. Like I think yesterday I hinted on it a bit, because when you look at the allowed deductions, they only allow, when you look at it, if you are an individual investor or someone just buying a piece of land, not for any transaction, but your residential. So the taxes that you pay, the allowable deductions that you expect to have are 20% of the value of that piece of land. So meaning 20% is extracted before the taxes is being applied. Yes. So it is close to 8% of the value of this property is being taxed.
So in your recommendation, it ought to be less than 80%, like maybe 50%?
50%, and then the 50% is supposed to be taxed.
So yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So in my understanding, I feel it will not be good when you overtax, because land itself is a basic need. You need land. You need a house to sleep in. So if it becomes very expensive in terms of taxes, the property taxes, the rates are very high. So there's always a threshold, but the thresholds are a bit very high. It doesn't favor the layman or the person who is a low-income earner. So you're buying this piece of land expensive, you're becoming, all things are becoming expensive in terms of the taxes that you pay. And there are also other taxes, but these taxes, the essence of paying a tax is to make sure that the infrastructure is provided well. And when you look at the state of infrastructure, though we say that are close to how many percent? 40% of the budget is allocated for infrastructure. But you go into these places, you really see the nature of infrastructure that we have. Although it is invested now, it is, yes, you wonder what the taxes are doing. So that is one of the challenges that is facing the industry, which is a gross, I would say, which is a very gross challenge.
Well, Bernard, as you were explaining, we did get a hold of a clear glimpse of the Rwanda visionary city. I don't know if you can, if our viewers can take a look at what we are seeing right now, and it is I think I believe a multi-billion or million multi-billion dollar project, and perhaps the most trending thing in Uganda. So let's have that, and then we'll be right back with more on this. I have a conservative opinion to give about your issues on taxes. So yes, let's go to that Rwanda visionary city.
Vision City. One of the most fabulous estates in East Africa region is Vision City. Located Upper Hill, Kigali, Rwanda, only 6 kilometers from Kanombe International Airport, and 3 kilometers from the CBD. This project sits at 157 hectares, of which phase 1 of 504 units is completed. The next phase will be composed of town center, shopping malls, food outlets, banking services, schools, and more. This flagship project is from Rwanda's largest real estate developer, Ultimate Developers Limited. The newly built Vision City that blends modern design with classic elegancy has the breathtaking city view where luxury meets lifestyle. This self-sustaining, impressive neighborhood is blended with the state-of-the-art security. uninterrupted electricity with backup generators, water reserves that can last up to 6 months, pre-installed fiber optic network that will keep you connected 24/7, and the other amenities such as asphalt roads, pedestrian walkways, street lamps that allows you to jog even at night, secure open parking, a number of your favorite sports courts such as basketball, tennis, and more. Safe public spaces for relaxation, bus parking as your little ones goes or comes back from school, and an amphitheater. This biggest housing project in Rwanda to date is a high-end residential and commercial development, ranging from 5-bedroom luxury villas, 4-bedroom luxury villas, 3 and 4-bedroom semi-detached, 3-bedroom townhouse, and various range of apartments that are currently on sale. These apartments that are surrounded with wonderful green yard range from 4-bedroom apartments, 3-bedroom apartments, and 2-bedroom apartments.
yesterday's segment, you did explain that this is part of a satellite city, not so?
Yes, yes.
What are some of the components of this particular video we just watched?
If you looked at the video itself, there are so many key areas they looked at. What kind of buildings are there? What specific areas? Because now one thing is that the satellite city, you should not move a further distance if you want to access any service of your choice. So meaning that recreational activities, you should be able to put them there. That is one of the components that you should be able to look at. Like you see, I'll bring it with an example. The Arkwright, you can see Kakungulu. They have a golf course.
Okay.
They have playing grounds. They have swimming pools that is supposed to be shared. So they have all those other gaming activities. That is recreational. And then you must have also a stall for commercial. You must be able to have supermarkets within the estate, not within a city, because if I talk about an estate, it's narrow. So within the city, you should be able to have commercial activities, retail, whether it being office space. Office space must also be there. And then these developments, houses ranging from all types, whether it being a standalone house, like they mentioned a townhouse, whether it being a semi-detached house, or a detached house, apartments that you saw there, in terms of condos, because most of those apartments are sold in terms of condominiums or condos. You buy space within the apartment itself. You own that space, but the common areas are being shared. So those are the specific aspects. Now, things like security is key for a city. One of the aspects that they look at is security, because you could see in the video the way the cameras were rolling around. So that is one of the aspects of security. Must have street lights. It is very few estates that you see those lights are on. So those lights, they attract the customers who want to buy from there. So people want to live in a community, and it must be very smart. Smart that I mean you put on a sign, no. All those aspects must be there. They must have what we call optic fiber cables. Yes, because now all those people those are people of different calibers. So if someone wants to sit in his house and then has internet, which is even, I don't know, the fastest
the fastest internet.
Yes. Someone wants to sit there. That is an example. I always like giving this. At Arkwright there is a fiber optic. You sit in your house, you enjoy the services because it's free of charge. Free of charge, at the expense of the management of the city. So those are the aspects that the city must be smart in terms of security, in terms of health aspects, in terms of even institutions, the schools, churches,
hospitals, banking systems.
But they are organized in a way that there is no noise. Because someone wants to come and rest and relax. So you cannot put, the way they organize them is that you cannot put a high-end person or big buildings next to small ones. Small ones be with themselves, and then the big ones are with themselves. So that is why you see even the road infrastructure, you can see the electricity systems. Most of them nowadays, they don't want these wires going all over. People are going underground. So that is a component of a smart city.
You know, I'm amazed by this because in Zengo muna Uganda nandiyagadde nsinga kisoboka nandifunye chance redesigning ekifonga bwe nandikyagadde. Now as a young person I have so many dreams. So one of them is if I could access some good land, I would actually create my own global village of some sort where you have well structured houses like we're just in the Rwanda case. So munango mabi video gye twasoose okulaga ebadde eraga ebyo ebifo sebo tebiri mu video biri bya Rwanda kiri mu maaso bwe twogerera. It is real, it is not photoshopped, it is not just video edited, it exists. Now that brings me to the question, do we have such a thing in Uganda, and if not, why not, and if we could, where do we need to go?
It all comes to, one is that it comes to the goal of someone setting up a project. Like I said, I always kept mentioning this. One city we have, the only city we have, a smart city that we have in Uganda is at Arkwright there.
The
Kakungulu estate. So it is the only city that we have. But the next city would be the Pearl Marina one in Garuga. They are planning to put around 300. They are planning to put so many buildings on a 300-acre piece of land. So that would prefer it to be a city. So meaning that all the components that I talked about are there. So people don't want to look at, most of the things we see here are what we call estates. An estate is a component. An estate is just a specific component in a city, because an estate will just have basic housing where you have your residentials. It will maybe have some few commercial activities, maybe supermarket will be there where someone wants to buy these small shops that you see that have been created. Maybe somewhere to play, but not a very big chunk of land. So an estate would be on those specific parameters. But a city in Uganda would be, I think, as of now, just have one.
Amazing, Bernard. Now, of course, as we finish off our show, kindly take me through the rest of the challenges. But as you do that, bear in mind that I will request you to, as a consultant, make some recommendations for policy change to government. So what are the final, what are the other challenges?
A few challenges, there are quite many, but I will just summarize them. One aspect is that there is no regulation. Regulation is there, but there is no implementation. Policies are there in place, but there is no implementation. Another challenge would be maybe aspects to do with alternative quick investment opportunities. These investment opportunities, like, as opposed to real estate, someone would say, if I put my money in real estate, the return on investment is going to come 10 years or 20 years from now. Where will I be 20 years from now? I would rather go fix my money in a fixed deposit. I put my 2 billion in a fixed deposit, which is expected to earn me returns of 6% per annum or per month. And then in the next 3 months, I'm already a millionaire with my 2 billion that I've fixed in a fixed deposit account. So people decide to think of those quick investment opportunities. And these days, people are going for farming, agriculture. I would say agriculture is part of real estate also, because it is a development on a piece of land.
Okay, now this is interesting.
So that is why.
Do we have time to look at agriculture as a real estate venture?
There's time. Maybe we'll need to organize another time.
Yes,
we
can
look at agriculture.
We are happy to have you here so that our viewers who are, because you know Uganda is predominantly agrarian.
Yes,
you know, and it said that 80% of the population is benefits of feeds of agriculture here in Uganda.
So if I say agriculture is part of real estate, yes. Things like quarrying, that is part of real estate, because you're mining something that is on a piece of land.
Wow, this is an eye-opener to me.
That is why we're saying that all those aspects must be put into consideration. People look at real estate in a narrow component, but it's, so the other alternative investment opportunities we are talking about, maybe you invest in a mutual fund. Nowadays people are going for buying shares in companies. Because they know that the returns are guaranteed.
Then this thing of real estate where you're not patient enough.
Sometimes you have vacancies, maybe you put your rentals, people don't like it, 3 months, you're not seeing a tenant. After that, you have also this hassle dealing with tenants. I rather give my money to a fund manager. He manages it for me. I say every month, I want this amount of money. People are ready to do that for me.
Hassling with
tenants and then.
In fact, that reminds me of something you mentioned before we went for a break earlier on, that most houses, most infrastructure we see in terms of real estate here, you would find that the ground and the first 3 floors are occupied, but the rest are not. And you were pointing to an issue of people rushing into uncalculated investments in real estate. But then I would also like you to shed some light. Sorry, we are running out of time. Though I had wanted you to shed some light on the nature of impatience that lies, the nature of patience that is required for real estate. However, I think these are some of the things we'll look at in another show. Conclusively, given these challenges, what are your recommendations for the government?
The government, one thing is that because real estate, you see, yesterday when we were starting a preamble, it contributes to close to 10% of the GDP. That is a much contribution. When you look at other sectors, when I talk about specifically, insurance 3 years ago was contributing 0.6% only.
Okay.
So, but now, because of people now starting to understand these things, because of the ideas being light, being more sensitization and what, it is now close to 2%. So why don't we raise real estate to 40%? Because it's a backbone. You need a house, you need a piece of land. We work on this infrastructure, everything. partly real estate. So the contribution it has. So since it has a large contribution to the GDP, why don't you invest money? Put laws. Make sure that the implementation is key. You say that this is a policy on this piece of land, it must be implemented. Give people tax holidays.
Tell
Institutional
them.
investors.
I know there is a government official watching right now.
Institutional investors, give them tax holidays. Say you're giving us 100 units. We are going to waive for you 3% of the value of the investment in terms of taxes. So those are the specific aspects that you should be able to look at. Regulate these, have strict laws, implement them. You say that you have a fraudulent activity here, you find a tenant, maybe if a standard of paying a commission is 3%, you find an agent paying having a commission of maybe 6%, bring them to books of the law. So those are some of the recommendations that I would look at when it comes, because there are key challenges that we see which we always have to be able to address. And then government should also encourage people to come to this industry, because it's one of the profit-making things that you see, though it is long-term in nature, but you're guaranteed of sometimes your returns over time. Yes.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much, Bernard. Welcome. And of course, we will be having Bernard here on another part. This is part 2. Part 1 was yesterday. This is now part 2. And of course, we're going to have part 3. Bernard is willing to come and help you if you intend to help you start a business in real estate, of course, in his capacity as a consultant. And today, we are more than humbled to have him all the way from Makerere University Business School, a lecturer from there in the finance department. We are talking about real estate. There is a lot of potential. I did mention that the United States itself has more than 20% of its GDP coming from the real estate industry. In fact, I will need to do some more research to verify my statistics, because from the glimpse I was given into the real estate industry in the United States, it does show that it's more than, it could even be more than 30%. Yes. So we need to understand that more. Away from that, this is the Smart Rise Show on Smart 24 TV. And of course, you had a very wonderful time with us. I'm very sure I had a very wonderful time with you. We started off with our Smart Insights. We had our Smart Talk with Frank GASHUMBA. Of course, we also had our Business Insights. And right now, we are closing off the Smart Forum. I'm Ronald Tush Kamweya. We have been streaming live on Facebook. We have a lot much more programming. So please follow us on Twitter at S24TV. I'm at Ronald Tush. And on Facebook, we are Smart24TV. I'm Ronald Tush Kamweya on Facebook. If you have any question for our facilitator today, you can call him, you can inbox him. Before I know I had called you off, but please tell us all your social media networks for those that you're free to respond to.
On Facebook, I'm at Alule Bernard. And then on Twitter handle, it's at Bernard Alule. And then my telephone numbers 0705 76 1276, and MTN is 0777 62 30 84.
Yeah, thank you so much. Stay tuned for more programming here on Smart 24 TV.